Are you ready to become yourself? For years, dozens of people from all walks of life have turned to this one man, Leslie Tanner, desperate for the tools to reshape their life in our raised, godless world. Utilizing a unique blend of good-natured humor and brass tacks education, his innovative approach has helped innumerable people reach new levels of consciousness and personal power. Leslie Tanner, a controversial but selfless and massively influential figure, defies categorization. Since he and his life-changing program rose to fame, the expert class has desperately attacked him as a clown, snake oil salesman, or predator, attempting to silence him precisely because he is so effective at helping others become happier and more powerful in their own lives. From the most challenged, the mentally ill, handicapped, women, and mentally retarded, to the most successful athletes, entertainers, business owners, medical doctors. Regardless of your station, Leslie Tanner has committed his life to giving you the tools you need to transform your life. So, are you tired of being in near constant emotional and physical pain? If you could snap your fingers and have $1 million, would you do it? Is there a you buried deep inside whose power and will yearn to be expressed?
It's a whole life-changing program.
If they get half of what I got out of this program, they're going to have a much happier life.
It was fun. I really loved doing the program. I loved learning about myself. It was just amazing.
So if you have an interest in transforming your life once and for all, come along. I have so much to show you. In a moment, you'll have the opportunity to call the number you'll see on the screen and speak to me, Leslie Tanner, directly. Together, we'll tackle the most critical issues related to unlocking your true individual power and reaching your fullest potential. Let today be the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to Explorations. Good evening, my explorers. Welcome back to Explorations. It is absolutely a gorgeous evening already to be with you, one-on-one. Here we are, brand new Explorations with Leslie Tanner, with me, Leslie Tanner, here to talk about the joy of walking. Ladies and gentlemen, the health benefits are innumerable, and the spiritual benefits are barely even scratching the surface if you read today's studies. So tonight, we take a holistic approach to our health and to the next level. And we discuss the joy of walking tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Good evening, my explorers. How are we all doing? How's everyone doing out there on twitch.tv and youtube.com? How are my explorers? Namaste to each and every single one of you. My people there at the beginning, I love you the most. I really do. I cherish you because you know the electricity gets started at the beginning. The electricity at the beginning is simply irreplaceable. Once you taste it for that first time, you know what's going to be there every single time you hit let's check out the stream. You hit start, you hit let me click this little link. Let's get started. Namaste. Welcome everyone and blessings. Welcome everyone and blessings and namaste. Before we get into all the business, how are we all doing? How are we all doing in chat land, huh? Oh my God, it's fantastic to be with you. It's me, Leslie. Blessings and namaste. How are we? How are we all doing? Danny Boojing is doing terrible. What's up, Catsup? Rating with a gorgeous 17. What's up, Catsup and I are in a little bit of a complicated period in our relationship, a personal relationship, and that's something we got to work out. But you know, I don't think anyone can doubt that we're committed to each other as best friends. Also, me to him as a sort of guru-like figure. I've given him a lot. I've grown a lot with him. I've given him exactly what he needs. MSG Mudkip going absolutely apeshit already, gifting 10 community subs. Holy moly, what a way to start off. A raid and then a fat ass 10 community sub gifting? What? Yes, indeed. Yes, a Friday night on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Here we are. Here we're getting started. Blessings and namaste to each and every single one of you. If you were lucky enough to receive a gifted sub from MSGT Mudkip, then please show your thanks in chat right now. I'm talking to you, Abnormal, whatever that said. I'm talking to everybody else who got a little taste of that something on this gorgeous Friday. Blessings and namaste. Good evening to you as well, Ellie Benelli. Great to have you in chat. Good to see your presence here, as it always is. As it always is. Nindy New, finally hitting that follow button, huh? Finally hitting that follow button. Well, welcome. Welcome to everybody. Welcome Nindy New to the community of explorations with Leslie Tanner. Much to explore, much to gain. Everybody, please welcome Pepper and Cheney to the community. Namaste to Pepper and Cheney. Wow, 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 and namaste to Pepper and Cheney. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Those of you at YouTube.com should be noticing a little something different on your chat. Can somebody over at YouTube.com confirm for me the presence of a super chat button over there? I had to deactivate it for a while, but I would like, you know, can somebody do that? I'm going to go ahead and see if we can fix fix this. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Namaste and beautiful, wonderful namaste. Yeah, so anybody at YouTube.com, poor MSGT Mudkip finally joining explorations. So that is so exciting, guys. We are being flooded with followers, new followers. Everybody please welcome MSGT Mudkip and Pur as well to the most effective personal power program that exists in the country. People all over the world are hungry, are thirsty for some kind of change. They're looking to transform their life. They're looking for a little more money. They're looking for some more luck in the bedroom or in their romantic lives. They're looking to make their lives better. And they've seen failure after failure after failure. They've seen somebody in my position walk up to them and sell them snake oil one too many times. Well, those of you that are still a little skeptical, you hold on to your skepticism and let the proof in the pudding show itself to you. Let me show you and the community show you that this program truly works. This program truly works because it works. It's effective and it is immediate. You'll see it in your life as you see it as in everyone else's life in the chat right now. Namaste. Blessings to you. LPJ, the super chat button is here. Good. I love seeing that. Wonderful. You know, we worked pretty hard. The YouTube chat, the YouTube community over there, you guys over there, the chatters and the hangers on at YouTube.com. We have worked together very, very diligently for quite a long time. We have worked very diligently in order to become a YouTube partner, to be able to, so that we could avail ourselves to the functions and excitement that come along with the super chats, the thank yous. I'm not going to do all that other stuff because there's no flexibility with it, and their on-screen stuff looks like dog shit. So what we're going to do is not use those, but we are going to use the super chats because then I can take the super chat information and you can have some toys to play with just like the Twitch.tv users as well. So namaste to you guys. Thanks for being here and thanks for being a part of our progress. Cheen, super chatting to, oh, there we go. Here we go. Cheen coming in hot. Explorer, abortion survivor, Peppercorn Patty. Just saying Peppercorn Patty. Peppercorn Patty via YouTube.com. Very exciting. Very exciting. Namaste to you. Thanks so much, Cheen. Really appreciate that. And shout out to Peppercorn Patty. Do we have a Peppercorn Patty with us? Do we have a Peppercorn Patty with us tonight? Namaste. No, look, there she is. There's that Peppercorn Patty. Wonderful and blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, Peppercorn Patty. Great to see your energy and presence. Blessings. Now, guys, tonight is a fun night, a different kind of night. Now, normally I come on here and I start hooting and I start hollering, right? You've seen me do it once. You've seen me do it a million times. I get the energy up. I get the energy out. I start getting excited. I start saying the words that find themselves. And that's the magic that I bring. I am the universe finding itself. Let me say that one more time just to make that perfectly clear. Let me say that one more time to make that perfectly clear. I am the universe finding itself in a sort of emergent property of the universe finding itself. And this is the sort of state of mastery of the program of explorations. Once you find yourself exploring and mastering explorations, truly an explorer, ladies and gentlemen, that is when you will find yourself as an emergent node of the universe, emerging upon itself, discovering itself upon its own discovery, the discovery discovering its own self. Blessings and namaste. And that might sound confusing. It might sound like, what? The audio's ahead? Damn it! Yeah, let's pull that. Let's push that video up a little bit, huh? That should do her. Still, no. I love this. I love tech. I'm such a tech head. That's half the passion. Half the passion that I bring to this program is, a lust for improving everyone's life through just sheer, my experience, my knowledge, and also just my sheer will. You know what I mean? But then also the half of it is I'm just a techie. I'm just a tech guy. I love messing around with tech. I love doing that kind of stuff. Still not good, right? Yep. Okay. Son of a bitch. One moment. Now it's a little bit behind. Let's fix this, just so we got we're going to have a smooth exploration tonight, huh? OBS is powerful but finicky. I think Space Cat 3 said that the other night. I'm barely goddamn moving it. And it's jumping left and right. That's gonna do it. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. I just don't give a shit. There's so much little tech stuff I can do before the yin sort of devours the yang inside of me. The yin devours the yang inside of, there we go. I'm looking, see, good now, good enough. Bingo from Danny Blue Jeans. Namaste. Thanks so much, Ellie. Thanks so much, Pimper. Namaste to you. Blessings and namaste. Wow, beautiful, yes. Anyway, like I was saying, guys, I am the universe finding itself, and the words find themselves, and it's very exciting. But tonight, I would like to bring a sort of laser-like focus. I'd like to take the intensity, maybe take that loud, that sort of flamboyant energy that I bring, and I'd like to keep that energy up, but I'd like to focus it. I'd like to focus that energy and really drill down on tonight's theme, because there are some really exciting studies coming out of Duke University right now that I go over. I have someone read them aloud to me because I don't know how to read, and I'm not going to learn how to read because it took me a very long time to unlearn how to read as far as a spiritual practice is concerned. Healing Wounded Warrior just super chatted $9.99. Holy moly, Healing Wounded Warrior. Blessings and namaste to you. Absolutely, extremely generous of you. I really want to, guys, let's thank Healing Wounded Warrior for that. Listen, Healing Wounded Warrior, what you get is called a termination, okay? You get a termination. $9.99. Let's go ahead and give you a little bit, a 1 cent little bonus. Let's give you a termination. So Healing Wounded Warrior, whenever you want, go ahead and you just say termination, all caps. I'll be looking at the chat. I will immediately hang up on whoever we're talking to. I don't care if we're talking to Barack Obama. I don't care if we're talking to Rosie O'Donnell. I don't care if we're talking to Tom Berenger. I love Tom Berenger's work. I would love a chance to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with Tom Berenger about his filmography. But you say the word. You say the goddamn word, Healing Wounded Warrior, and I will hang that shit up post-haste. Post-haste. Talking to Bugs Bunny. Yeah, you could, I suppose. In this day and age, you could probably talk to Bugs Bunny. Jaleel White. I'd love to sit down with Jaleel White. You think Jaleel would sit down with me? Sit down with me on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. I'd love to have at it with him. Love to just kind of go over, his approach, his process, his filmography. Love to really just kind of check all the boxes. This is probably the stream Obama was going to call in, and now he won't. Yeah, well, it's because the ADL will they'll sick him. The the ADL, the Human Rights Campaign. These are proven enemies of Explorations with Leslie Tanner. All right, I don't want to go into too much of the details of the harassment and doxing and the DDoS attacks and everything else that they do. That they can't reel me in, and that's why they resent me. If they only knew that I was great for Jews and gays, they love me and I love them, and I'm giving them the tools that I give everyone else. But short-sighted. Darkness resents light. What can I say? Darkness resents light. Blessings to you. Now, guys, as I was saying just a moment ago, tonight we're getting to the joy of walking. Now, not only am I excited to kind of just talk about walking with you, right? Just walking from A to B. Sometimes we can walk from A to B. Sometimes we can walk A to B to C. Sometimes we can walk A to B to C, back to B. Maybe we're going to make one more stop at C. Maybe head on over to D before we go back to A. Sometimes we can just walk A, back on over to A. And that's what's beautiful about it. There are so many different combinations, and it is the same quality of exercise, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. There's a whole host of benefits. Now, some really exciting stuff coming out of Duke University. A really beautiful, the holy grail of research and studies like this. That sort of randomized, double-blind study over about 7,000 people over the course of about 7.5 years. So what they did was they took two groups. They said, one group, you don't walk anywhere. We'll give you money for Ubers, however far you got to go. If you're just going to visit somebody the block over, you're taking a little trip across the state, I will get, and this was fun. It got up to about $7 million to pay for these Ubers. I looked at the receipts. It was crazy. Communal vision from Nindy New. What about A to C to D's nuts? Now, Nindy New, that's funny. That's really funny. I love that. Thank you so much, Nindy New. Really appreciate that color, that colorful presence that you're already contributing so much to the community. I really appreciate that. Namaste to you. Namaste to you. Now, as I was saying just a moment ago, this study found that those people, half of them died. The control group died. Either through self-inflicted wounds, fatal self-inflicted wounds, or they just they got super fat and got like heart disease really fast. Now the other side, they practically started floating. Their metabolism was better, their cellular health was better, their mental health was better. They looked better. They were more successful. They actually had more cars. They took, in some cases, they took even more Ubers because they had the money to do it because they were happier, more effective, more successful, and it's just through having to walk some different places within a half mile of their home over the course of 7 years. Really beautiful result. So I was like, listen, Funnily enough, I read this. I had it dictated to me, but I was on a walk with my assistant. One of my daily walks. I go on a specific route. We'll get into the route later, but I was on a walk, and my assistant read this to me. I was like, we got to talk about this. This is so funny. I'm on a walk, and I'm learning about walks. This is tremendous stuff. And so guys, when I open up the line in just a moment, I want to talk about walks. I want to talk about going on a walk. I want to talk about your walk route. I want to talk about how frequently you walk. And I want to talk about how to use walking to unlock the power. Unlock and unleash the power of the next level that we speak about so frequently here at Exploration. Does that sound all right to you guys? Let me hear you chat. Does that sound all right to you? Do I have your permission to explore the joy of walking with you, to unlock and unleash the power coursing through your veins right now as we live and breathe? As I look into the... Somebody time out Crush Pants and Kel the Ruiner. Also, Nobody Radio. Time them out. Moderators, pay attention, please. Anybody that's saying no right now, time them out. VJ Cat, Pepper and Cheney, everybody else, it is open fire. Shoot to kill. Time these people out. Time these people out. I'm not playing that game tonight. I'm not playing games with you tonight. We're not breaking out the board games tonight. We're not breaking out the mall madness. We're not unfolding Candyland, picking our favorite color pieces and rolling the dice. I'm sorry, I'm not playing those games with you tonight. What I am going to be doing tonight is giving you simple yet profound tools by which to change your life, transform your life. I'm not going to be playing these games with you. I'm not going to be drawing a little hopscotch on that sidewalk. I'm not going to be playing buckets like Bozo the Clown. I'm not going to be putting on a little wig. Not going to be putting on a little nose, a little hawk nose, big old shoes. I'm not going to be playing those games with you. We're not going to pull out our phones and play Candy Crush. Namaste. I love fresh memes kicking off. You just kicked off a you-know-what. Can't wait to get into that before we open up the line. Wow, what timing. 3 months of the program, my life is already improving. Namaste. Listen, that's beautiful. People can't just say that kind of shit online. You can't just say whatever you want online. So that's really beautiful. I'm so glad that you shared that. I love fresh memes. Blessings and namaste to you. But in the meantime, guys, let's get some sensual energy going, right? It's Friday. Let's let it hang out. Let's let it hang out. You know, who's feeling horny on a Friday, right? Let's get that dialed up with some smooth jazz. Yeah, that's right. This is just what I needed, Guru Nigel Pennyweather. Fucking yes. It's time to get down with the jazzness, says Ellie Benelli. Very beautiful. I appreciate you sharing that. I really appreciate you sharing that. What perfect time to share that kind of message about jazz. I'm so glad. Ellie Benelli, what's your evolution been like with jazz? Have you always been big on jazz? Did you come to it later in life? Talk to me about it. Share it with us. Wow. Enough of the jibber jabber. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's find our bodies. Now, as we rev up for explorations. And of course, I'm demanding that we use all parts. I'm demanding that you use all parts of you, the mind, the body, the soul. Don't forget about that body. As we look for the mind, don't get lost in the body. Find that body. Claim that body. That body's yours. Go play with yourself a little bit. Just a little bit. Namaste. Wow. Beautiful. VJ Peak, I'm not high enough for this. We'll fucking do some pills. VJ Peacat, listen, just do whatever pills you have around. Come on now, girl. You know better than that. Do some pills. Beautiful. Now, one thing I noticed on my walk earlier, and I will share this. There's so many little tidbits and anecdotes I want to share with you about walking in my personal life. That's very personal to me. That's very important to me. Little truths, little anecdotes, little visions that I've had along the way during my time. One little thing that I want to share with you tonight, though, is once upon a nighttime walk. Well, we'll save it. We'll save it because that was the end of the Jazz Express. Thank you so much to everybody who participated. Ellie Benelli, it's time to get down with the jazz. I really appreciate that. We had some bits. We had some subs. We had some fun. Wow. Oh, shit froze. Why did that happen? All right. I don't know why that keeps happening. No idea. Anybody who knows anything about OBS and that particular problem, go ahead and give me a little hoot. I've long suspected is something, powers that be, CIA, ATF, ADL, something like that coming down on me, but namaste. Oh, okay, so guys, before we open the lines, let's get through a couple orders of business. How about? Because I got to open up the lines. I want to open up the lines as soon as possible. So, guys, first of all, I love getting stuff from you guys in my P.O. box. It's always there for you. If you want to ask me a really particular question, send me a postcard, send me a letter, send me a package. If you have some little gifts to send over to the studio, I love putting your stuff up. P.O. Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois 60647. That's right. Send it right to that P.O. Box. I check it several times a week, and like I said, I absolutely adore getting stuff from you all. It's such a bright point of my day and my week to just open up that little P.O. Box, get the little yellow slip, stand in line for upwards of 45 minutes. And honestly, there's one lady behind that counter that I really enjoy. She is such a peach. She's such a peach, such a treat to speak with, and she never gives me, my BS when I bring about like 50 VHS tapes to mail to my community of devoted light. She never gives me any malarkey about it. She just she asked me, "What's this?" And I said, "It's a bunch of VHS tapes." And I'm like, "You mean like those?" The first time she asked, "You mean like tapes?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she just kind of laughed, and then I kind of laughed, and then and that kind of solidified, everything that we are today. There might be a thing. There might be a thing between us, and that might be worth exploring once I end my season of self-love. Exploring the alpha sensuality that is so important to me as a man. If you have questions about alpha sensuality and that part of the program, I'd be happy to get into it. Right now, we're going to skip that and move on to other orders of business. Mother Nipple Bottom. Mother Nipple Bottom, funnily enough, guess who was second place? Guess who was second place for Explorer of the Month? Guess who was second place for Explorer of the Month? That's right. None other than the one and only Mother Nipple Bottom. You got beat out ultimately by Fram, but Lord, you really did it to him. Can we talk about walking on eggshells? Ooh, always 3 steps in front, always there, always seeing the literal meaning and then seeing a symbolic sort of off-road, a little adventure. I love this, Mother Nipple Bottom. That's why you were in the finals. That's why you were in the finals. Blessings and namaste to you. That'd be interesting, and only like a VHS tape only OnlyFans. That honestly would be fucking cool, right? $5 a month, you get mailed no, that's not enough money. $5 a month for a tape? That's fucking stupid. It'd have to be more. But tape only, right? Anybody can have that for free. Anybody can have that for free. You're telling me that you cannot in your mind's eye imagine a wealth of perverts that are also into VHS tapes? You're telling me that there's no pervert out there that will feel like he's getting I'm getting something real bad. I get to feel like when I was, 7 years old and I wandered into the adult section at, Blockbuster. You telling me those Venn diagrams don't do that? Yeah, right. Come on. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Grow up. Grow up. Tremendous idea. Tremendous idea. Somebody use that. And please credit me. Namaste. Great. I'm glad, So let's go ahead and go to the second. There seems to be some confusion about the Explorer of the Month. So guys, let's do another little lap around our announcement of this month's Explorer of the Month. Beautiful, beautiful. Namaste. Namaste to us. This real actually going off. Blessings and namaste. So guys, that brings me to my, the winner. Remember, a little quick reminder about the Explorer of the Month. Every month there will be in recognition of committed service, of committed use of the program, and acknowledgement of the progress made by an individual member of this community. We will award Explorer of the Month to a single explorer every single month. So Fram did win this month. That was a joke. Toaster not getting it, certainly. And that's kind of why it was funny to me to put that on the screen, to just say that, oh, Toaster got it, because that's so ridiculous. And that's very funny to me. Not that Toaster isn't an important figure in all of our lives. But it's fun that we have fun, right? It's important to have fun. So anyway, Explorer of the Month. Explore the Month in a recognition of, service and presence and progress. We provide that Explore the Month recognition to Fram We Are this month. Now, with Explore the Month comes some benefits, right? Get a little something in the mail from me, Leslie Tanner. We'll find something that you don't have. If you're a member of my community devoted light, or if you have some other sort of physical merch, we'll work it out. But I will be sending you something in the mail, also granting you a free month of Explorer of the community of devoted light. That's right. You get free reign. No video, no podcast, no nothing is untouchable to you for an entire month. So you can really dive in head first into the program's materials over the community of devoted light. So namaste and congratulations to Fram We Are. Blessings and namaste to you. Now, okay, so guys, that was my orders of business. Let's open up the line and jump and dive head first into the joy of walking. I can't wait to unlock each of your latent innate powers and abilities by way of the joy of walking. Namaste. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Oh, hey, Leslie, it's Jenny.
Jenny, welcome to the program. Former Explorer of the Month for the months of February and March, and also a sister of Devoted Light. How are you doing tonight, hon?
I just got some bad news. I thought this month was going to be my month.
You were wrong.
I'm just dealing with that right now.
Interesting. And what is this? Do you want to share this bad news with us?
No, it's just an old EOTM now, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's the bad news?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn it in.
Oh, somebody was dying or something. Your life's... That's not that bad of news, given the context of your life.
That's true.
Yeah, listen, we've seen you go through some serious ups and downs here during calls on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. And when you said bad news, that sort of somber voice, I was braced. I was braced for something.
Were you?
Oh, yeah. I was braced for, like, your dad died again, or, something along those lines. And,
that would suck, dude.
Right?
Yeah. I can think of other things. My new car broke down.
Listen, bad news, you have been terminated. Namaste. Namaste to Raji, the daft. I don't know how to read that, but I love it. I love it because we have a new subscriber. Guys, Raji is now an official member of our community of exploration. Guys, everybody welcome Raji, R-A-D-G-I-E. Go ahead and type that just like I spelled it, and welcome and congratulate and wish a namaste to Raji. Welcome, goddammit. And that termination came from Healing Wounded Warrior. Healing Wounded Warrior. Namaste. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Who the hell is Healing Wounded Warrior?
Over at youtube.com.
It's not even a real name.
I mean, it's as real as hypocryptomatic.
What? That's not my name.
It's your username.
Well, I had to work around things.
Well, it's because you got banned, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't from this show.
What show did you get banned from?
I told you before.
I forgot. What was the final nail in the coffin?
I got stalked by somebody, and it was through the sewer crew, the Cowabunga dude. He didn't ban me. It was from this bitch. I'm sorry to curse. Yeah. Because I started having a friendship with somebody. I mean, we had to get a lawyer, remember?
Yeah, the details are coming back a little bit. It's been a while though, right? It's been over a year.
Of what? Me?
Yeah, on
Being
hypocryptomatic. You've been on that. You've been on that for over a year.
Yep. Guess what? Before that, I was like, it's Brittany Bischoff. That's a play on Britney Spears and Eric Bischoff from wrestling.
Yeah, that's yeah. And did you lose that one? What was the final nail in the coffin on that one?
I lost a lot of them. I lost a lot. I'll call her a lady. Anyway, so you're talking about walking.
Yeah, Jenny, let's go ahead and focus up. We were talking about the joy of walking tonight on Explorations.
By the way, congratulations, Fram, for taking any happiness I had in my life. But congratulations.
I'm sure he's hearing that. I'm sure he's really appreciating that. He works hard, and
I mean
it's
it.
important to acknowledge that. Yeah. I know you're a little bitter about it, having lost Explorer of the Month.
No, I'm not. I just said congratulations.
Yeah, but it sounds like you did it because you know that that's the right thing to do, but it sounds like you're covering up something.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, walking is very important.
Healing Wounded Warrior, is this what I think you mean? You're off by a penny, but it's close enough. Is this what you meant?
No, don't do it. Off by a penny. I'll give you 2 pennies.
Well, you guys... 13th Juggalo says, no, she was showing her tits on stream like a retard, getting people banned. Is this true?
No. And that was different. He was there. That was different, and that's not true.
Your retort isn't exactly sharp right now.
What's that?
Your retort, like your sort of response to the allegations isn't like, no, that is a made up thing. I absolutely would never do that, and I'm offended. You're like, no,
it was different. Okay, that was different. I did not get him banned. I did not get that man banned. Okay, and also he had an anger problem.
I'm frozen again.
That was.
One moment. Listen, anyway, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get back into the joy of walking. Now, Healing Wounded Warrior, Healing Wounded Warrior, you're off by like a penny on a couple of these things. Just tell me what you need, because you're off by a penny, and do you mean to be off by a penny? And you're just being extremely generous because you're inspired.
Oh.
Otherwise, let me know if you wanted the you know what on this caller, because you did.
You can't do that, Leslie. You can't do that if they're off by a penny.
Yeah, but it's also but I don't know if YouTube's being weird. I'm still trying to figure out YouTube.com, the super chats.
You are a grown adult man, and you can figure out things very quickly. You're very intelligent. I'm sure you could count money.
Listen, I can read numbers. I understand that. It's well, I want to know if there's something weird
screwed up.
that YouTube turns $10 into $9.99.
Okay, wait. Why does it cost $10 over there? It costs $20 over here.
It costs 10 bits or 1,000 bits.
Yeah, but 1,000 bits costs $20 on Twitch.
Is 1,000 bits really up to $20?
Yes. It's been $20 for like the whole time.
No, it hasn't.
Since termination started. Yeah.
500 bits used to be $6.
Nope.
Yes, it did.
I'm telling you right now, brother. It costs $20.
Oh, you said that on the super. I'm looking at. Okay, you've been terminated.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, no, okay, we got to work on this. I got to get a... Okay, this is... Okay, listen. For some reason, your super chat text is not showing up. Healing Wounded Warriors, the super chat text is not showing up, so I'm gonna fix
Hello.
that because my chat thing isn't showing. 1 second, caller. I just got to write down a thing I got to troubleshoot.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're buying it on the phone,
It's more.
it's more on the phone.
It's a scam on the phone. Don't do it.
Yeah. If you buy it on desktop, it's like a couple dollars cheaper. Mother Nipplebottom is gifting 600 bits. Pennies for the warrior. Very generous of Mother Nipplebottom, feeling the spirit of explorations tonight. Namaste to you, Mother Nipplebottom. Really appreciate that. Really beautiful, gorgeous. Thank you so much, Mother Nipplebottom. Second place Explorer of the Month, by the way. Okay, so I got to get a new YouTube chat window. Because, man, this kind of shit is annoying. Okay, let's go. Let's see here. Yeah, all right. Would anybody know? But that's the thing about Twitch, though, is that if you don't work these little things into the built-in functionality, then I'm afraid people won't use it. I don't think people are going to use it as much. That's the trade-off. Because you could make it like a donation-based thing, like to PayPal, have that trigger, but I don't think that's going to work. I'd love for it to, but I don't think it's going to work as well. No, I don't think so. Okay, caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you?
Call me dumbass.
Okay, dumbass. Welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Focus. I feel focused right now.
Feel locked in.
Yeah, locked in. You could say that, absolutely. Now go ahead. Talk to me. Tonight we're talking about the joy of walking, brother dumbass. I want to take you to task. We got wasted a lot of time so far. I really want to get into the weeds with you. Now, do you walk currently in your life? Do you ever go on walks? This is part of your life?
I take walks every day. I love walking.
Every day.
It's my me time, my alone time.
I love that. Your alone time. What are you getting away from?
Just people in general. I'm around people all the time, so it's just my chance just to spend some time by myself, listen to music, not be in my head about things.
Okay, so there's something about walking that allows you to sort of leave your head. So what is this business of what occupies your mind? Give us a couple examples.
A lot of stuff.
Give me two of them.
Two of them? Oh. I worry about stuff in the future a lot and crippling loneliness.
Look at. Oh, I love that. Perfect answers, by the way. Perfect answers. Because, there's some people that I would ask that question to, and they would say something like, oh, I think about the cool stuff I'm going to get when I have money, or I think about, things that I like, but you're just giving me the real deal stuff, and I really appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you for being so honest tonight.
Of course.
So you're thinking about, what was that first one again? Crippling loneliness, and what was the first one?
Just worry about stuff in the future a lot that hasn't happened yet, that could potentially happen. Like, oh God, what if this happens? What if that happens? Et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Just different areas of your life kind of collapsing, you losing everything, complete disaster.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So creating disasters, and then, okay, beautiful. I love that. Crippling loneliness. So that's so funny. Give me a moment. It's so funny that you mentioned that that you mentioned two things in direct, I understand it, but to a small mind, it might be confusing to hear that, A, you're around people all the time and
Yeah.
B, you're utterly obsessed with how lonely you feel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucked up, huh?
So yeah, talk to me about that. Talk to me. What's that like, right? You're around people all the time, yet you are cripplingly lonely.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'll be friendly to people and be friends with them to a certain point, though, because I have a hard time of really getting close to people or not letting people in, per se, I guess.
Right.
So maybe it's partially self-isolation, too.
Sure. And what's wrong with you?
I wish I could tell you a lot.
You know what I mean? Like, like in an official sense. Has any one of these experts said like, oh, you're this or you're that?
I have quote-unquote depression, but who doesn't? I think there's more wrong with me, to be honest, but I just never really gotten.
Well, that's,
checked out.
this. First of all, I'm going to say right off the bat,
Yeah.
probably. You're probably right about that.
I think so.
But second of all, to follow up on that, there's something really funny about getting diagnosed with depression, right? It's like, it's almost a sort of universal thing. It's like people have gotten so casually existential about it that, they say that depression is just part of the human condition, et cetera, et cetera. And it really fails to capture, the depth of despair of a certain, of certain people. And it kind of just leaves you feeling empty.
Yeah, very much so.
Right. It really takes the sting out of a certain word. Now, I know certain therapists, and more power to them. They think that these words should be protected, and these words should be used less, and used more exactly. And I see where they're coming from. Lord knows I see where they're coming from.
And, speaking of therapists, to each their own, but I don't care for therapists at all.
Let's go. Guys, can we give it up for Brother Dumbass right now? Can we make some noise, drop some emotes, get some excitement going in the chat for Brother Dumbass coming at us with that little tidbit? Go ahead and say that. Go ahead and say what you just said again.
I said to each their own, and if it works for you, great, but I do not care for therapists whatsoever. Exactly, quote-unquote experts, my ass.
Brother, this is music to my ears. Tell me, how did you arrive at this, right? Because, conventionally speaking, we have therapists rammed up our ass to solve any number of mental or spiritual maladies. But tell me about your experience. How have you arrived at your distrust and dislike of therapists?
Just seems like pretty much every therapist I've gone to, they either just more or less tell you what you want to hear, or they try to make you seem. I mean, I know I'm pretty bad off, but they try to make you seem like you're more worse off than you are. It's all about money, obviously. So I don't know. I just don't buy into their bullshit.
Right. So it sounds like you go in there, right? You go in there maybe even with a small hope that they might help, reduce your suffering a little bit, right? Ease your pain. Through some of their expert knowledge and understanding. And it sounds like they get in there and then they make them, they're either making mountains out of molehills or molehills out of mountains, and they're just...
Exactly.
But underneath that, no matter what they're doing, what they're not doing is they're not listening to you. They're not paying attention to you. And this, in my experience, this is because they get involved in therapy to kind of masturbate. They're utterly terrified of you and your problems. And so so you're just a figure of masturbation to them. They might as well be looking at a pornographic magazine.
Ew.
I know, right? Ew. Yuck. Right? Yeah, that's how I see therapists. How I see so many of my colleagues is perverts.
Ugh.
Perverts of the deepest, most disgusting order. Now, how many times have you given it a try?
Like 4. Yeah, 4.
4 times, and and it's been a strikeout every time, huh?
I'm 0-4 right now. 0-4.
0-4. Guys, this is a perfect example. Chat, this is a perfect example of why I have professed since day one. Since the very first day I hit start stream on twitch.tv, and I put, first day I put pen to paper on this program. I have always said, stop going to therapy, quit your therapist, stop taking your medication.
Please do.
Get away from these jackals and these rapists as fast as you possibly can.
Rapist of the mind.
Exactly, rapists of the mind. Wow, I love that. And now let's so 4 therapists struck out, and and not a single goddamn one of them, for as much money as you spend, for all the hoopla that they get credited to them, not a single one of them was good as going on a goddamn walk. It sounds like.
No, actually, you're not wrong at all. Yeah, exactly. Between my walks and this program has done me a lot more good than those quote-unquote professionals.
Wow. Wow.
Just being honest.
No, listen, brother, you don't need to qualify it. I hear you. I feel you. The majority of the chat, anyone who's been here for longer than a couple seconds, understands the truth of what you're sharing with us right now. I know you're being sensitive and you're saying, "Hey, this is just for me," but I'm gonna kick it up a notch. I'm gonna make it universal.
Oh.
You're doing the right thing. It's because those people are bad people, and they're there to masturbate to their clients. They're not there to help. They're not there to listen. Maybe somewhere in their heart there's a confused intention. Maybe they want to be good people. Most people do. But if you get in that office and they miss the mark, and they waste your money, and they waste your time, they make you feel stupid, make you feel small, even worse than you already did when you got in there, then, ladies and gentlemen, you're at a peep show. You're at a private little. You're in a VIP booth, except you're paying to get jacked off to.
Ew. And you're locked in a room with them for an hour or two? Ew.
Yep.
Gross. Dude.
And then they give you worksheets on top of that, huh? You get a worksheet ever?
Exactly. I didn't get to that. Yes.
Good Lord.
I never did it.
Do you think strippers would be strippers if after their dance they had to pay $180 an hour, or be insured and pay a co-pay in order to strip, and then get a fucking worksheet when they were done with their little dance?
Fuck no.
No!
Who would? I mean, who in their right mind would?
Good Lord. But you found what I'm hearing from you is, we got a quick communal vision coming in from Mother Nipplebottom. Can we talk about walking the walk? Interesting. Mother Nipplebottom, I'd love to talk about that. Let's throw that to you real quick before we end our call and move on tonight, Brother Dumbass. Walking the walk. What does that mean to you?
Walking the walk. I don't know.
Yeah, walking the walk, I would say few people do it. It's a few people actually walk the walk, and I think there's something about social media and the internet that is disastrously corrosive to even the idea of walking the walk. You have fewer people walking the walk. So I'll just kind of leave that there. Well, listen, Brother Dumbass, is there anything else you'd like to share with our chat before we move on tonight? This has been a really terrific call.
Well, like I said before, just fuck your therapist. This program has done way more for me than any therapist has done ever in my life. So the program works.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that right now. Namaste to you, Brother Dumbass. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Have a fantastic night.
You too. Guys, that was not staged. That was not rehearsed. That was not an actor. That is the real deal testimonial of one of you, somebody in your exact position who came here to the program with a certain path and a certain set of problems, and they have found that the program works. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Tonight we're discussing the joy of walking. What's something I can call you tonight?
Well, my friends call me Mikey No Legs.
We're speaking of Mikey No Lace. Am I saying that right?
No legs.
No legs. Mikey No Legs. Do you in fact have no legs?
Do not have legs.
0 legs. If you look down at where your legs would be, there's not a goddamn thing.
Supposed to have 2 legs. I have no legs.
Supposed to be 2. It is now 0. Has it always been 0, or did something happen?
No, ever since I was born with no legs.
Born 0 legs, never had any legs.
Now, don't even know what it's like.
So do you have the upper body that comes with that? You know, you gotta like kind of just walk on your hands around your house and stuff.
Pretty much.
You got not solid delts.
So what now?
Your deltoids. They solid.
Oh yeah, my delts, my traps, my lats.
Traps, your lats, your biceps, your triceps. I bet your triceps are mean, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty bulky.
But no legs.
0 legs.
0 legs.
So what are we talking about tonight?
Brother, we're talking about the joy of walking.
Ah.
Yeah, so you called on kind of a weird night for you.
I try to get through every week, and then finally I get through.
Yeah, so you didn't check out the name of the stream before you decided to call in?
I can't read.
Well, congratulations on that. Has that also been an always thing?
I used to know how to read, but I can't. I forgot how.
Namaste. Well, I guess so. You've never walked. I don't, and I really, to be honest, I don't really want to extend our definition of walking to what you have to do to get around. If that's,
I'm more like I sort of scoot around.
Yeah, I would say you scoot. I would say you hip hop. You lumber maybe. I just wouldn't call this walking. I think these words have to mean something. So you are being excluded from this. How does that feel?
Right. Well, I've always wished I could walk.
Of course, yeah.
And jump.
Why? Why have you always wished that you could walk? What's so attractive about it?
It just seems a lot easier, and when you don't have legs and you scoot around, you're constantly crushing your dick and balls. A lot of people don't realize that. So if I go anywhere, I'm in a lot of pain because my dick and balls are getting crushed flat underneath my torso.
Wow. What a journey. What a journey you're on, huh? So do you have a sort of technique? Do you sort of... Oh, and you have been terminated. Namaste. For having too many disabilities. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you?
It's Peppercorn Patty.
Peppercorn Patty, how we doing tonight, Peppercorn?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy, but I'm doing so well.
Oh my gosh, end of the week though, right? Friday night?
Yep. Hanging out.
And you have been terminated.
No.
Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Hi, Leslie. It's Fisk.
Fisk, welcome back to the program, Fisk. How you doing?
I'm awake.
Awake. You're awake. And
Yeah.
Let's assign a quality to that. Good or bad?
What?
Let's assign a quality to that, being awake. Good or bad?
It's not good or bad.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that one more time. Let's assign a quality to that. Good or bad?
What's the sign? Maybe I'm not awake. But I can't understand what's occurring because I'm not awake.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I see where you come from. So some confusion whether you're awake or not, or whether, this waking experience is real or not. It sounds like maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting. And do you often find yourself in this position?
Kind of, yeah.
Interesting. So, like I was saying a moment ago, I've been extolling the benefits and the joys of walking tonight, and that's the topic of our stream tonight is the joy of walking. So, I guess, Fisk, I just want to take you to task. I want to get you into the weeds with us. Do you go on walks?
I used to go a lot of walks, but not so much these days.
Why not? What happened? You used to like it, but now you don't?
No, I just kind of got weird in I got weird and cabin-y, hunker downy, I can't go outside. I can't let myself go on walks. I still like them. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Now. Do you remember the last time you even went on a walk?
Not precisely.
Communal Vision coming in from
when?
Fram Weard. Hey Fisk, it's me, Fram, your Explorer of the Month for the month of April 2025.
Hi, Fram. I feel like Fram wants to shoot me.
Wow, interesting. Speak on that.
feel like
What gives you that?
like
What gives you that? What gives you that feeling?
He said something not nice one time, and then I was like, oh, I guess Fram wants to shoot me in the head.
Does this happen a lot to you? Do you worry that people want to shoot you in the head after they're not nice to you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone. Just specific types of people.
Yeah. Can you provide me a moment to meditate on that for a moment?
Okay.
Communal Vision coming in from Pepperoncini. Can we get a list of the people who you think want to shoot you in the head?
Fram. My imaginary friend, Charlie. Another person that I don't want to name. And maybe my dad.
I gotta
That's
say,
pretty much it.
if I was your direct therapist, I wouldn't tell you to go on walks, but I would talk about how much I enjoy walking in front of you as much as possible.
I don't know if that would motivate me to go on walks. I think I would be weirded out.
I don't suspect it would. But what it would do is create questions, create dissonance. I ultimately, here's the thing about motivation, Fisk, is that we simply cannot motivate each other. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that one person cannot motivate another person.
I believe that too.
And so what I would do is try to just kind of upset you as much as I could via walking. Like, if I was your therapist, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I don't know if that would upset me. I think I would just be weirded out that, like, you like walking so much that you keep talking about it. I think I would just, like, think that this is, like, a weird little quirk you had and, like, kind of try to ignore it, to be honest.
Communal vision from Ellie Benelli. Caller, sounds like you need a walking buddy. Would that help?
It would probably help something, but to be honest, I like to walk alone.
Yeah, no, if I was your therapist, I'd be hitting you up with, like, selfies.
I'd probably develop a crush then.
I'd send you selfies, and then I'd say, well, if you told me that, then I'd send you selfies of, like, me, you know, with somebody. I'd be causing you as much dissonance and pain as I possibly could.
Okay, well, I'll probably just start fantasizing about you bleeding out or something.
Beautiful. And if you shared that with me, I would show you pictures of how healthy my veins are, how well I keep blood inside of my body.
That would probably make it worse.
Make you want to kill me, essentially?
No, not specifically. Just like make me want to see you, just like on the ground with your blood draining. Not like because I did anything. Just a situation.
Right. And then maybe I would send you some pictures of myself, so maybe hacking up other people and me just enjoying all the blood in my body.
I guess I would. I don't know. I guess I would just sleep. I think I would just go to sleep.
There we go. Cool. How's life been lately, Fisk?
I don't know. Normal. Not as dingy and like scary as it was like a few months ago. Feels kind of like less scary recently.
Real quick to Jessica, aka Mother Nipplebottom. Yes, they are working at YouTube. It's just ! Then the name of the command. ! Name of the command. If you do like ! Relax over at YouTube, you can do it. To answer that question, because nobody else did at YouTube. But yes. Now, less dingy. Is there a sort of seasonal aspect to that, Fisk, or is it on its own cycles?
That probably is part of the influence of it, though not as much as I might like to think. No, I think it's because there's like scary stuff like possibly occurring, or that I possibly had to be around that is no longer
a thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. One thing that I would do, I'm glad you called, and before we move on to our next caller, you mentioned in the Discord, guys, if you're not a member of the Discord, I can't recommend it enough. Katie Rip, throwing down in a sub, blessing. Oh, I love that profile picture, Katie. Namaste to you, and thank you. Thank you so much for the Prime for the 4th month in a row, guys. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank Katie Rip. Thank you so much, Katie. Really appreciate that, and I'm absolutely in love with that profile picture. You're doing a tremendous job, and thank you so much for everything, your energy and everything. Now, one thing you mentioned in the Discord server that I just brought up was that you wanted the world to explode tomorrow. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
Now, was there anything in particular that motivated that, or was it just a realization or a feeling that came from just the day-to-day life of you, Fisk, Mummy?
Well, I guess it is day to day, but it was like just I don't know. I just feel like that sometimes because occasionally I'll be like, damn, like I really be like too like just like not able to know if like people are being dickheads or not, and then it'll make me like, oh, okay, well, just like fuck it all then. Like humanity is irredeemable.
I mean, that's true, 100%. Civic TV 83, I don't know how I missed this, but we were just raided. Holy moly, a Friday night raid from our dear friend of the stream, Civic TV 83. If we could do a quick shout out for Civic TV rating us, really gorgeous, sort of thrust of energy. Thank you so much for bringing your crew here. Namaste and blessings to you. Blessings, Civic TV. Can that was 5 minutes ago? Was that really? It was 2 minutes ago. But did somebody do it? Did somebody do the? Yes, thanks. Somebody did the shout out. Thank you. Thank you, 13th. Guys, thank you. Civic. Choose violence, choose Leslie Tanner. Actually, you know, weirdly enough, we're speaking to an explorer here that genuinely is choosing violence in a lot of ways that people don't understand, and it really leads to a beautiful quality of our calls with that. So Fisk, let's. The irredeemability of humanity makes you just like say, you're ready for a fuck it. You're ready for a big planetary fuck it.
Yeah, but realistically, I didn't know it has to happen kind of gradually.
I mean,
so that's, whatever.
Most likely. Yeah. Most likely. There's also like a lustful, like, I want in sort of a sexual way, I want the end, right?
Yes, destruction is the ultimate form of release.
Yeah, people underestimate. People really underestimate the sexual quality of destruction and violence.
I don't know if they underestimate it. Maybe they just don't. They just try not to think about it. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, listen, that's a really beautiful note to end on, Fisk. As usual, our calls, take their own logic to them. They sort of do a little bit of here. It's, a lot of conversations, they go A to B to C. You're going A to F to Q to R to back to D to F. We're going to park on F for a little bit. We're going to park on F for a little bit, and then back to A for a long time, then maybe B, then back to A. This is the quality of your calls, and this is a refreshment for me, personally speaking. I really do enjoy the nature of your calls.
Well, I couldn't do it without the guidance that you provide, Leslie.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to partake. Now, Fisk, is there anything that you'd like to share with the chat before we move on tonight to our next caller?
I am very legally sane. I've never been diagnosed with anything. But if you would like to diagnose me, I would be very down to lock toes with you and be diagnosed. And also, I hope I didn't upset anyone or Leslie by saying that I want to see him covered in blood. I can't help myself. It's not my fault.
Fisk, absolutely no offense. You can come over here and chop me up right now. I wouldn't hold it against you. I know where you're coming from.
Okay.
I know where you're coming from. No worries on that.
Alrighty.
Well, alrighty to you, Fisk. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Explorations with Leslie Tanner.
Namaste.
Namaste, hon. Wow, what a beautiful call. What a beautiful call. Thank you so much. Explorations is the most effective personal power program in the country. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner, the most effective personal power program in the country. My name is Leslie, host and and founder of the program. Caller, what's something I can call you tonight? Caller, are you there? Caller can't hear you. Call back. 708-240-8953. 708-240-8953. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Hello, Leslie. It's Poet.
Poet, welcome back to the program. Listen, somebody mentioned earlier in the Discord, they were like, oh, I wonder if Poet's going to call tonight to talk about the joy of walking.
I would love to discuss about how I feel about walking.
Please.
It's very simple. I'm going to walk away from this conversation.
So Poet just hung up. A little quick fact about Poet is he has a sort of degenerative disease that is sort of making his bones fuse together. And it brings him excruciating pain every day of his life. He's talked to us about it on many an occasion, and that being, tonight being the joy of walking. If there's one person, in addition to Mikey No Legs, if there's one person not enjoying the joy of walking, it's Brother Poet. I'd love to hear a little poem about that, but he hung up. I'd love to hear somebody react negatively to the joy of walking, because that's, that's one thing that's really important. You hear one person discuss the joy of something. They're taking joy in something that another person simply cannot have, either due to circumstance or someone took it from them, right? This opportunity is invaluable to the person lacking, the person without, for them to feel the immediacy of the pain of having to live without, having a life that is less than, involves more suffering, involves less joy, less enjoyment, overall kind of just an immediate awareness of the lower quality of their life. This is a gift. This is beautiful. And this is exactly what we have given people like Poet tonight, who feels excruciating pain when he walks. So we might talk about the joy of walking. That one depressed guy, Brother Dumbass, he called in talking about how much he loved walking. I tell you about a depressed guy that doesn't enjoy walking, a guy whose bones are fusing together. Poet. Communal vision coming in from Mother Nipplebottom. Jesus dies at the end of his walk. Wow. Wow. Mother Nipplebottom with a bit of history, a bit of religion, a bit of spirituality. Namaste. Thank you so much. Jesus died at the end of his walk. Jesus died at the end of his walk. Seven 708-240-8953. 708-240-8953. How are you not mod? Oh, I think you did something that pissed me off. Caller, I'm going to quickly mod Mish real quick, but even though I know she did something that made me unmod her.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. There you go, Mish. Your time and timeout's over. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
It's Peppercorn Patty again.
Peppercorn Patty, welcome back to the program. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, doing really well, and that's good to hear. So you said earlier that you're a little sleepy end of the week, feeling tired, but you're excited to be here, huh?
I got off work early today because someone crashed into a power line and it fell down completely, and we didn't have power, so we had to leave early.
Oh, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. What happened to the person? Did they die?
I hope so. I don't know.
You devil. You absolute devil. I love that. I love that. I love that little bit evil in you. I'm really relishing in that right now. Ooh, that feels good. Now tell me, Peppercorn Patty, tonight we're discussing the joy of walking. The joy of walking.
I hate it.
You hate it.
Stupid.
You hate the stuff.
It's stupid.
You think walking is stupid. And talk to me. What if I made you walk right now, what would you feel? Why don't you like it?
I would probably just feel bad about it. I feel like this sucks. I feel like I'd rather just be asleep, taking a nap, laying down. Just like, some of the best times of my life have been just like laying down. So that's why I hate walking so much.
And so the benefits of walking, such as increased cardiovascular ability, a higher metabolism, generally a better like mental health or mood state. You don't experience these things.
No, I mean I might if I actually took a chance to walk around, but I don't want to. I get sweaty. My leg hurts. Arm hurts. It just, knees hurt. I don't want to. I just don't. And even thinking about it makes me upset.
Pepperoncini with a quick communal vision for you. Pepperoncini says it's so inconsiderate when people die in car accidents and cause traffic congestion. Any response?
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And VJ Pica says that they also hate sweating. I hate sweating. That's another part I don't like about walking.
You know who else hates sweating? I'll bet she's going to sound off in chat right now. I just modded her.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. She hates sweating.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now it's just me going on the night walks. Laser Shark going on night walks. Interesting. So what about night walks? Peppercorn, what about night walks? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess there's like maybe a less chance of sweating, maybe, but not really where I'm from because it's hot all the damn time. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that really changes anything for me.
We got a couple communal visions. You're very inspiring to the chat right now. Can't wait to get the first one coming in from your old pal Orchestar. Orchestar shares the following message. Remember when we saw that guy jerking off on a bicycle?
Yeah, that's another reason I don't like to walk around because you just see fucked up shit like that all the time. Like people just jerking off all over the place.
That's interesting. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I would say that's probably specific regionally. Depending on where you're walking.
I think the jerking off on the bicycle thing was overseas. I think it was in Europe.
That makes sense. They're even more. They're a very particular kind of pervert over there. Mother Nipple Bottom. If your arms hurt when you walk, you might think about checking your technique.
Okay, I'll consider it, I guess.
You're not going to consider it, are you?
No, I'm not going to consider it. Well,
and that kind of pissed you off to even hear about that.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, I feel like this topic resonates because recently I've been traveling a lot. I've been having to go to the airport a lot. Depending on what airport you're in, you have a lot of walking to do, especially the specific terminal that I have to go to when I fly up north. And it's like the last terminal in the airport. It's the furthest away from the entry point. It's ridiculous. And I was thinking a solution for people like me would be more of those treadmill systems throughout, everyday spaces. Like, can we not just put a treadmill system at our jobs, at the grocery store? We just stand on the treadmill and let it take us from place to place. I feel like that's a pretty good solution to walking, if you ask me. But that's just me.
Having a treadmill that kind of wheels you around?
Yeah, but more specifically like the ones in the airport, you know, where if you do decide to walk, you feel like you're really getting somewhere, you know?
Have you considered like one of those hoverboard things? One of those
Yeah, I guess. I just think it would be more interesting to see more of the treadmill systems elsewhere other than just in the airport, you know?
Wow.
It's fun to think about. It's something that's kind of fun to think about a little bit.
I mean,
it?
you're definitely innovating. Somebody triggered sociopathogen just triggered innovate. You're definitely innovating right now. Now, talk to me, Peppercorn Patty. If you know, the one this is just kind of popping in my mind right now, and it's something I've been meaning to bring up. Is I heard you on another stream. I think it was on Toaster's stream. Toaster's What's Up Cats Up stream. And you brought up lemon pepper wings at Whataburger.
Mm-hmm.
It all costs money with quick communal vision. Get one of those Segways and use that. Or better yet, hire a rickshaw to cart you.
Okay. Both good ideas.
Okay, so I do want to talk to you about this lemon pepper wing at Whataburger. Give us a little rundown of that. I don't have a Whataburger where I am, you know, as much as I wish that was different. But talk to me. I didn't even know they had wings, let alone lemon pepper wings. What's going on over there?
Yeah, it's actually Zaxby's. Orgastar is correcting in the chat as Zaxby's, which I think that's a regional chain.
Oh, it's not Whataburger, it's Zaxby's.
And their whole thing is like chicken. So.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then I thought Whataburger had wings.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy, right?
Off-brand, yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
Well, listen, I gotta say, you know, okay, let's lean in a little bit. Tonight is about the joy of walking. You called up and you expressed explicitly that you simply do not have a joy of walking. So let's make an argument together. Why shouldn't people be walking? Why is there no joy in walking other than sweating? What are some other? I want to convince me why I shouldn't walk.
Okay.
What about motorized roller skates from GP Bear? No, from Danny Blue Jeans.
Motorized roller skates. That's also a good idea, but just not the same. I just think that we have enough. You know, there are enough people out there that can make this happen, right? We need jobs in this country. We need people to be making these walkways available, these moving walkways for more people like me. I think that in addition to getting stinky and sweaty, you could also be, you know, you're hurting your joints, you're hurting your body. Over time, if you keep walking, eventually everybody's body's going to decay anyway. Who cares? Why shouldn't we just enjoy our time on a big treadmill? And then we could just enjoy our surroundings a little bit more. We don't have to worry about, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm sweaty, oh, my knees hurt. You know what I'm saying? Is this a good argument? I feel like
No. I see. You're really speaking from the heart. You're speaking from an emotional place. Really appealing.
Speaks for itself. If you've been on a treadmill at an airport, you know it's good. It's a good place to be.
Orchestar asks, you got stinky feet?
Me?
I
no.
mean, maybe both of us. usually don't.
No, I don't.
I usually don't. I've been eating
You
this
also
like,
said-
yeah, no, I've been eating like a lot more meat lately, and my odors are changing though,
Interesting. Okay.
and they're more pungent, it's more masculine. GP Bear also communal vision. Leslie, have you considered busting it open for the gram? I think you'd be world's first trillionaire if I showed whole on Instagram. Orchestar says, "Hold on, bitch. You took me on a hike once."
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. That's not true. That's false. That didn't happen.
Not me says I smell like rusted metal. Yeah, I think I'm giving off a very metallic kind of vibe right now.
Ooh.
And Orchestar says, all caps, yes you do. So, yay for eating, blessings, and namaste. Namaste. Yay for eating. Yeah, it's different now, Laser Shark. It's a little different now. It's evolving. It's evolving. Not great. Bowels, not great.
Do you use a deodorant with like aluminum?
Do I?
Yeah, maybe that's to fight the metal smell, you need to get
Fight metal with metal?
Yeah.
Or if I just like kind of eat little bits of like aluminum foil?
Yeah, or gold flake, you get...
Ooh, get Goldschlager?
Mm-hmm.
Just get fucked up on Goldschlager and go to the hospital?
Yep.
You're full of good ideas. You know, you're having that kind of, you know the thing when you're just going to bed and you think of like a whole fucking symphony or a whole goddamn movie or something?
Mm-hmm.
You think of like crazy ass creative ideas right when you're going to bed? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, I do. It does happen to me. Can you believe this? I can't even go to bed because I have to do Talking Tanner tonight. Can you believe this? Ugh.
Uh-oh. Announcement. So we're doing it tonight?
Yep, it's happening.
Guys, we're doing Talking Tanner tonight. That's going to be a fun night. We're going to have a fun night tonight on Talking Tanner. Beautiful. The official After Explorations, Post-Explorations talk show hosted by Pepperoncini, What's Up Cats Up, with special little guest here, Peppercorn Patty. Well, listen, Peppercorn, I won't keep you all night. I'll let you go.
Okay.
You know, I genuinely appreciated your low energy and negative attitude tonight. It was a nice little counterbalance to the general positivity and uplifting direction of the program thus far tonight. So I appreciate you kind of just, weight counterweight, argument counter argument. You really did a good balance tonight.
Of course. I think more people should call in and talk about why they hate walking.
Wow. Okay. I'm sure there's no shortage of that. I can think of two people off the top of my head that I know definitely are going to have an argument against it. So, all right. Well, Peppercorn Patty, any final little words before we move on tonight?
No. Good night, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste, Peppercorn. Namaste. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Namaste. Namaste, and namaste to my Twitch, and namaste to my YouTube, guys. Thanks so much for being here with us. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Guru, it's Poir.
It's Poir?
Yeah.
Poir, welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight, brother?
Okay. I tried to... hold on a sec.
Pepperoncini with a communal vision. The only walk-in I care about is walk-in diners and drives. There it is. Shout out walk-in diners and drives. Namaste to dear friend of the stream, walk-in diners and drives. Namaste.
The man of like 2 point. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, and also Underhill, that you see that it costs money, right? It costs a super chat. You can't just say terminate. There's a way to do it. I've given you the keys. It just requires support for the program. Now, Per, you called in earlier, it didn't connect, and now you're calling back. That shows resilience, and I say namaste to you for that.
Okay, I have an explanation. I handed the phone to my friend Kipple here, and he didn't say anything. And
Oh,
he's
so that was
running
literally
away.
a person not saying anything.
It's literally a person in fear, trembling in fear, and scared of the next level.
Listen, I want you to tell them that like I understand where they're coming from. I understand where they're coming from 100%. Because honestly, that's in some ways that's the most honest reaction to the next level. The next level is not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. You know, unlocking and unleashing our true power through the simple yet profound tools that I provide you all through the most effective personal power program in the country, Explorations. This brings you to an utterly terrifying state, a state of truth, a state of reality. So for them to recoil shows that, you know, I know this seems counterintuitive. It shows that they have the potential to really, really explore the benefits of this program and stand to benefit immensely in a very short amount of time, should they choose to engage in the program. Did they hear me say any of that?
Yeah, I think they caught the important bits. I put you on speaker at the last second.
Pepperoncini, have you considered untying them and removing the blindfold?
Okay, Pep, this is serious. This is serious. Hello?
Poor yes, it's Leslie Tanner of Explorations. How are you?
Okay, yeah, I'm back.
Well, listen, I just said some really important stuff that I'm going to need your friend or roommate or whatever that person is to you. They're going to need to go back and listen to what I shared in the VOD after the show, okay?
They heard it. They have the phone in hand right now. Here. Well, I'm here. Hi.
Hey, how you doing tonight? It's Leslie.
Hi, I'm here. Hello.
Hi, yeah. Did you hear all that stuff I said about your being afraid?
I heard the tail end of it, yeah.
Okay, listen, I just want you to know that, like, I don't want you to feel shame for being afraid. Okay, because this program that we have here is extremely effective. Extremely effective. And a lot of people, they come to me excited. You know, where you were sort of afraid and pulling away, a lot of people come to me excited. And I spend, you know, some period of time introducing them to the program and to reality itself. And it becomes very scary for them. So for you to be ahead of the ball, to acknowledge how well this program in fact truly works, and to be afraid right off the bat, listen, the things are looking very bright for you here, should you choose to engage in the community and the program. I just want to tell you that, okay?
Got you. Thank you.
No, is there anything in your life that you wish you could change?
I mean, I guess a bunch.
Right. Sure.
But I have been watching along aside my friend here, and you know, seems like it's been helping him. So I'm along for the ride.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's where I'm at.
Wow. It's that simple, right? You just somebody mentions it to someone they care about. They want the same thing in their life that they've experienced through the program here at Exploration. And just like that, we got somebody. What's something we can call you?
Kipple.
Did you say triple?
Kipple. K-I-P-P-L-E.
Kipple. Well, guys, welcome Kipple to Explorations of Leslie Tanner. Guys, can we say some namaste, some excitement, some hellos to Kipple in the chat, please? God damn, wow. This is exciting. I'm always I get electrified when we get somebody new here. So listen, thank you so much for giving it a shot, giving it a chance. And what are your initial thoughts after seeing all this malarkey on the screen?
It seems super helpful. People just are able to say their feelings and stuff.
Right.
So,
our feelings are yet paths, yet avenues. You know, I'm actually a legally trained therapist, counselor, and you know that training has given me tremendous perspective and insight on, you know, what people truly need in their lives, and that is a big thing. Feelings are a very important avenue. Right, to the true self. And what are you feeling right now?
A little surprised. I wasn't expecting to get on the phone here, but I mean, I guess a little bit of relief.
A little bit of relief.
I mean, it's nice to talk to you guys.
Yeah. It's nice to talk to you too. This feels good. This is fun. I'm already. We got a question from chat for you, actually, if you would believe that. Somebody from chat named GP Bear has a question. Question for Kipple: why would God allow evil to exist in the universe?
That's a good one.
Yeah, you know, there's no right or wrong answer. You go ahead and just shoot from the hip, right? Skeet that answer right on out. I just want to hear it.
I don't know if that's something I can answer.
Put yourself in God's position. If you were God, why would you allow evil to exist in the universe?
I guess with that, only because I couldn't control it, supposedly, right?
So you would rather give up power than morality, I hear. If you were God.
I guess so. I think.
These are beautiful questions, and that you're allowing your mind to go there shows tremendous promise. Many people freeze up, so I want to commend you for that. We've got one more question from the chat, actually, too, for you, sure. Kipple. Pepperoncini asks, caller, how will this conversation change the trajectory of your relationship with Purr?
I don't think it will much. I mean,
you guys are pretty close.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I think that's also a good question. I'm not sure how to answer that, actually.
Well, that's part of the fun is that you get to discover that. You get to discover. Yeah, I mean, maybe it won't change fundamentally, but maybe it might take on a different hues at different times now that you have this this extra thing in common. Your work to the next level within this personal power program. You know, stuff like this it can set people apart, but also pull them together.
Accurate.
Yeah, I've seen it happen in real time. And I celebrate it all. Whether it tears friends and family apart, whether it brings them together, all it brings forth is natural. It brings forth what was written in the air upon meeting the program. And that's all. That's all I want. Reduction in suffering, authentic being, a reduce of internal conflict. You know, if for instance, if you were somebody who, you know, had repressed several parts of yourself that really, once if they came to light, they would fucking hate Purr, right? You say maybe you, I don't know what, you know, but what race Purr is, but maybe you're repressing a racism against whatever Purr is, and all of a sudden you get involved in explorations, you're way more racist. Right? Do you see what I'm saying?
You know.
It's possible.
No, if anything, it's probably gonna bring us closer.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I'm just kind of tapping into somebody I worked with a couple months ago who definitely got more racist from working with me personally in our one-on-one sessions.
Yeah, and he's right here laughing at me. So
He's just having fun. He's such a little rascal, isn't he?
Yeah.
we love him here. We do. We really cherish Poor. A real quick communal visualization.
His are real good.
Yeah, a quick another little message for you from the chat. Caller, would you fuck an alien?
I mean,
I know. Where do they think of this stuff?
I mean, I guess it depends, but sure.
Yeah. What if? What are you? Are you gay, straight? What kind of what are you attracted to? What's going on over there?
Sure am.
Straight or gay?
I want to fuck an alien.
There we go. Alien sexual. ET sexual. Fucking elf sexual.
Sorry. Here, I'm gonna give him his phone back.
Well, listen. Final one. Final little question. Are you two tickling each other?
No.
Okay. Peppercini, that's a no.
No.
Okay. Sexy question though. Thanks, Pep.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and put Poor back on. Thanks for, but Kipple, thank you so much for giving us the time of your night, all right? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Okay.
Poor.
Okay.
Wow, what a tremendous introduction tonight. I want to thank you for bringing your friend Kipple here.
Yeah, I gotta fuck you. He's on his knees because of the power of the program.
Wow.
He's lying prone on the ground.
Wow.
And he's telling me to go fuck myself.
Okay, well, listen, there's going to be a lot of emotions that come out of him tonight. You know, really, that first contact, realizing with what is possible here and what his future may look like. It can be scary, it can be affronting, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that you may not know to be Kipple up until this point.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready for that. It's the kind of thing that I'm used to for the most part, but yeah, I am. And
well, listen, I want you two to have a good night, okay? Try your best, drink some water, give yourselves a break by the end of the night, though, all right? Because this is going to be more draining than he understands, okay?
yeah, water's good.
Okay.
Gotta drink some water.
Well, namaste, Poor, and give Kipple my best, all right? Thank him for joining us tonight.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste. Framweard, Explorer of the Month, coming at us. Don't forget to wear splash protection. Poor splash protection. That could be for water, Kool-Aid, or just good old-fashioned ejaculate. So thank you so much, Framweard, for sharing that warning with us and for sharing that with Poor. Poor, hopefully you saw that. Well, guys, it's that point of the night. I got to take a little pee-pee. All right, I've been saving it up. I got to blast a torrent. of urine out. But blessings and namaste to each and every single one of you in the chat. Namaste. Sit tight for a moment while I go do that, but stick around for a couple words about my community of devoted light at patreon.com. My inner circle, so to speak. People who have availed themselves to my growing library of exclusive materials that you can only find at the community of devoted light at patreon.com. I'm talking postcards, music, etc., etc. You'll see more in just a second, but guys, sit tight, namaste. I'll be right back in just a moment.
Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Since Leslie and his program broke onto the scene, Explorations has become the #1 best-selling and most influential personal power program in modern history. Millions of people from all over the world have gotten a chance to meet this truly remarkable man and utterly transform their lives with the power of Explorations.
I listened to this introductory tape and I knew then and there, this is what I needed. I felt just so much better knowing there are a bunch of people out there suffering like me.
I'm not kidding you. I think after the first tape, I knew, okay, I'm gonna be fine.
I got such relief from the very beginning, starting the program.
Now that you've gotten a taste of what this program is capable of, it's time to show you how to take your life to the next level. Here to tell you more about what is possible is legally licensed clinical therapist, author, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, martial artist, amateur musician, one of the nation's foremost thinkers, and our guru, Leslie Tanner.
Good evening, everyone. Whether you've been with us since the very beginning and have watched Explorations work wonders in your life, or you're joining us for the first time tonight, I say namaste to you. As you've watched Explorations in action during our call-in show, no doubt your mind is reeling from the limitless potential you now know is possible. Between the tailored themes and lectures, to the myriad avenues of exploration through the channel points, to the customized ways to interact with me and the community, there simply has never been anything quite like this program. Now is usually the point in one of these self-help programs where it starts to sound like a sales pitch. Someone like me might normally say something like, listen, I know your time is precious, let me cut to the chase. But there's only one problem with that. We know your time isn't precious. I could speak at length for hours and hours about absolutely nothing, and I still wouldn't be wasting your time because, well, you're here. Looking for a fast, all-encompassing solution to the problems in your life that have become so intolerable, you're not sure what you're going to do. You may be considering any number of extreme decisions, ranging from short-term band-aids to more permanent solutions. However, as dark and bleak as your situation is, so too must our tools be bright and revolutionary. So whether you're tired and looking for more energy and enthusiasm for life, or maybe you're lonely and isolated but want better relationships, let me tell you that for these things and so much more, my breakthrough program of explorations to explore the universe and beyond really works. It's worked for elite performance athletes, critically acclaimed artists, best-selling authors, entrepreneurs, and for thousands of others just like you. I have been blessed by the universe for a brief moment that I now command upwards of $50,000 for speaking engagements. But through the technology of this program, you can hire me, Leslie Tanner, as your personal therapist, coach, and guru, all rolled into one at the Community of Devoted Light on patreon.com. Where you and thousands of others just like you are learning to leverage the chaos around them to catapult their lives to heights that were previously unimaginable. Here's how it works. I've created a tightly knit community where individuals seeking to access the next level are able to study, reflect, meditate, and grow with an ever-expanding library of exclusive materials, each containing life-changing tools and techniques designed to explore topics covered here in our call-in show, but much more deeply, therefore increasing the benefits of the program exponentially. These materials include your name in the credits at the end of the stream, demonstrating the importance of your leadership and the value of your investment. A signed personal postcard sent out each month full of observations and witticisms by me, Leslie Tanner. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Exclusive video materials now available to the poor, designed to rocket your progress past those who cannot afford success. Here's a little sneak peek at what you're missing. You said that at the beginning, there was something about the rhythm of separating the days with sleep that gave a sense of
optimistic confidence, however small, that whatever was left as incomplete or outright failing today might not be tomorrow. Always a day wholly separate from right now. After insomnia became a part of his life, there was a shift in his thinking about tomorrow. Downloads of all specially crafted music used in our productions here and elsewhere that have accompanied your journey thus far. Tracks such as New Beginnings, Psychic Romance, Reaching into Darkness, or The Skeptic's Gamble. Exclusive archival prints such as these, channeled and honed by myself, Leslie Tanner, upon which you can guide your own meditations at home. I'm not an artist, nor do I claim to be. These visions are a burden and cause me immense suffering. But I do it for you. Now, you might expect that a program like this would cost thousands of dollars, but because I'm offering this to you through the internet, these life-transforming materials can be yours for the monthly cost of a few cups of coffee on your way to work. With access to these materials, regardless of your level of investment, you will also be receiving a complimentary download of our landmark track, The Sojourn Begins, as a thank you. So does this sound good to you? Well, what are you waiting for? If you are ready to join the thousands of others who have already committed to the final journey to access the next level, simply type Final Journey into the chat and you will be guided with further instructions. One thing I can promise you is that however massive your problems are, however abject and humiliating your life has become, I have created something so simple yet so profound in this program, you'll be absolutely flabbergasted by the results. Now, let's get back to the program. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie, host and creator of Explorations with Leslie Tanner, the most effective personal power program in the country. From sea to shining sea, we have transformed thousands and thousands of lives here with a simple yet profound set of tools that guarantee to help you lose weight, help you gain a little more skrill in a bank account, to transform how you relate to the self, other, and reality as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, there is simply not a more effective personal power program in the country, as you all know very well. But if you've seen the magic work here on the call-in show, you may be tempted to enter my community of devoted light at patreon.com, where the real program materials are, the real meat on the bones. Well, listen, run, don't walk. If you feel called, then maybe tonight is your night. Type ¡Final Journey into the chat to begin your final journey into the community of devoted light. And, you know, speaking of which, we're actually recording a podcast tomorrow with one of our moderators, a special little get to know your moderator situation. In addition to that, we've got several video projects on the back burners that can't wait for the light of day. In the meantime, we do have the podcast, and I am sending out, most recently I sent out The Beauty of Nature on VHS tape. So a really beautiful VHS tape. You can ask any number of the people that received it in the chat, any of that particular tier of the community of devoted light. Ask them what they think of the program materials on the tape, the quality of the case, the quality of everything that goes into it. They can't say enough about it. They tell me they can't get enough of it. So listen, blessings and namaste to all of you. Let's go ahead and open up the lines back up and get a couple more calls in before we call it a night. How about, huh? Namaste. I got myself a little snack too, because my tummy was rumbling. Namaste. 708-240-8953. You know what? Real. Caller, this is Leslie of Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Caller, what's something we can call you tonight?
Oh, this is Nobody Radio Underhill.
Welcome back to the program, Nobody Radio Underhill, guys. Welcome, Nobody Radio Underhill back. Great to have you back on here, brother. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm miserable and suffering, but just working the program.
I mean, it's all you can do, right? That's all you can do. And you know, honestly, one of the things about this program is that, and you know this as well as anyone. You called up and said you were miserable, but you're working the program, and a lot of the time, once you really get into the weeds, once you really start unlocking the reality of the self, that is when you see, I am miserable, and I am now experiencing that misery directly. So in a way, the program tends to cause more misery in a way. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, well, you know, all of life is pain. You're just constantly making gambles on whether you want more or less, right?
Interesting. How has the program made your pain worse? Talk to me.
Well, you know, before I didn't have all that shit to worry about, but now I'm even more scatterbrained than before. But you know, you just got to overcome it.
Right. So,
you got to positate the negative.
Overcome. See, that's the thing.
Maybe it's the reverse. I can't decide anymore.
Exactly. We're getting confused. Right. So on one hand, you say all of life is misery. On the other hand, completely opposite situation, you say I got to overcome. But if all of life is misery, how could you possibly overcome? And you're in a state of confusion now. And this is a very advanced step of the program. Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, pay very close attention to what the caller just shared with us. You heard it from him. You heard it from him yourself. On one hand, all of life is misery, is this realization he's coming to. He's really wrapping his head around. But on the other hand, he's got this idea that sort of directly opposes it. I got to overcome. And now he's in a state of confusion. Tell me, what's that confusion like for you right now? How does it feel to be confused about something so foundational to your experience of being alive?
Well, you know, if you think about it, like, like all of life is pain, but you got to like try to overcome, but accept that at the same time. But like that's just like a crutch, right? Like that attitude is just a crutch for full acceptance of what reality actually is. And I think I'm finally coming to terms with, you know, the folds between that cloth, right?
You know what, brother? This is not a small thing to have realized. Nobody Radio Underhill. Yeah. Not a small thing to have realized. That resilience is actually a defense mechanism. Resilience and overcoming.
Well, what are you being resilient for? Like, what is out there that you're not, you know, just totally pwning or destroying or leaving behind in the dust, right?
Right.
Like, it's like an acknowledgement of failure.
But a rage against failure, right? A rage against failure.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it props for the energy level.
Sure, it's not without. Yeah, it's not without, you know, an amount of admiration. But ultimately, you know, it's just like watching a man castrate himself over and over again. You know,
if you do it more than once.
True. That, you know, I ask myself the same question all the time.
Interesting. It's an interesting question.
I ask myself that almost every day when I'm sitting one-on-one sessions with the people that I work with. I think to myself, you'd think someone could only castrate themselves once, but you see the utter resilience, and I mean that in a bad way. The utter resilience of some people who walk in every single session. Every single time I see them, they have another story about how they essentially cut their own penis off.
Lovely. I'm sure that's uplifting for you on a regular basis.
Well, you know, it's a security for my paycheck at the very least. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
I know what you mean, too. Now, listen, Brother Nobody Radio Underhill. Tonight we're discussing our theme, which is the joy of walking. Now, when I say those
Yeah.
words to you, what comes to mind?
Walking hundreds of miles through the desert.
Have you done that?
I could walk. I could march or walk until I died, essentially.
March.
So
Are you a
To
veteran?
me, it's just like, sort of.
What does that mean?
It means that I was adjacent to the military and I was there for a little while, but it was not going to be a long-term thing, so I left.
Interesting. Okay, so you were adjacent to the military.
So it takes a long time to explain it, but it's like a fart in the past.
So you weren't like private sergeant,
No.
blue first class, or whatever the words that they use. You know what I mean?
No, I never really had rank outside of like recruit or whatever, but I was discharged honorably. I mean, it was like, this just isn't a thing, right? I got in because like I had really, like, according to them, I had really remarkable scores on their tests that they wanted me to be like a nuclear engineer, and I didn't want to do that, and like, so I ended up in a different program, and I wasn't even really excited about it, and I got to boot, and I was like, this sucks, you guys are idiots, and they were like, yeah, you're really not made out for this. So I got an administrative honorable discharge. That was pretty much it.
So you gave it
really
a shot.
Not a big deal. Well, it's me and like, 250,000 other people in my generation. Like, not everybody ends up full-time in military. It's just how it is.
Right. Well, it sounds like you took a different kind of route. I've known some people that get involved with the military simply because they had a very strained relationship with their father and they want to do violence. So they end up in the military doing that sort of thing. But you're just kind of a brainiac, right?
I was more of a dumb kid that didn't know what my future should be or what I should value or why.
Dumb, but they wanted you to be a nuclear engineer. That's not a dumb kid thing.
No. Like I mean dumb in the cultural or experience sense. Like I just didn't know what my future should be or what I should want it to be or why I should want it to be a particular thing. So.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Right.
We've all been
in
there.
retrospect.
Sounds like you're kind of returning to that place right now through your work in the program.
Yeah, and it's let me just tell you, it's so much easier doing it at like in your mid 40s rather than like when you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have all that experience, and that really counts when you have to like, drive rebar into hard-packed desert and put up fences and build structures and haul water. It really matters then. All that learning that I did helps me tremendously with that.
Tremendously with what? What are you doing?
Oh,
You're doing that stuff right now?
Well, yeah, well, I'm working on it. Like, I own land out in the desert, and I can't really keep the house anymore, so I'm packing everything and trying to prep the land, but it's like 500 miles from here, so it's really stressful, and you have to plan trips, and, doing it like solo is insane to begin with because of where it is. It's fun.
We love that.
It's exhilarating.
I love that.
Well, this is the edge of life, like people imagine that they want things like that and have no idea what it's like to make contact with that outside of $1 million experience, right?
Well, it sounds like you're having a little midlife. Would you describe it as midlife crisis?
No, I already did that. I got that over with, like in my mid 30s. I moved out west, and no, this is necessity. This is just the way life ended up being. Really, like I wanted to have my parcel and like have stuff on it, like just have some cheap property, but like the way things go, you end up living there. Like it's life.
Mm. So it sounds like the joy of walking. The first thing that that came to mind when I said that to you was that just a sort of bare knuckles, hard work, repetition that on some level you enjoy, but it is hard work and it's just an extension of the suffering that you feel in other areas of your life. But there's a sense of gratification in the preparation that you have undergone to ready yourself for this walk, so to speak.
Yeah, that's complicated, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to weave a bunch of stuff together, and maybe I said it a little verbosely. But there's a certain sort of immediate physical.
I can't always get the wisdom right away.
Yeah, no, I understand. Many people call in and then have to watch the VOD again to really feel the energy and clarity of what I'm sharing. And so don't feel bad about that, certainly. I'm giving you a lot of information, a lot of energy, and as much as I can in a relatively limited amount of space. So
well, it's for each of us, it's always the long walk with the long dark at the end, right? Like people have is there an objectively best life experience?
Is there, what was that? Welcome, one moment we were just rated real quick. Space Cat 3
awesome.
rating. Namaste to Space Cat 3 for bringing your little clan over here to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Space Cat 3, a very committed, very dogged explorer. Namaste to you, Space Cat. Great to have your energy here. Blessings and namaste, and thank you to Trap Lorchington for finally just hitting that follow button, getting on board the exploration train. Namaste to you and welcome formally to the community of explorations. Now, finish your thought. Nobody ready or you're talking about the long walk, the darkness, and etc.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, is like so? There's like rich and poor, black and white. Water and dust, whatever, right, man? But like, everybody just lives a life. Like, is there an objectively best one? Like, is it really better to be born like, like a silver spoon kid and never experience like the other half of like hard labor and all of the things that come from like, a middle class or lower class life, or is it better to be on the other side and like not have to worry about all the rich people shit and just like, live a simple life, right? Like, is there one that is arguably better?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and argue that all the stuff that you said about being rich and having a silver spoon and stuff, that I would say, I mean, you're right in acknowledging the nuances involved here, right? Because a lot of rich people, they K themselves too, right? And if that's not a marker of unhappiness, then I don't know what is. But
I was never unhappier than when I was making the most money I ever made. But I wasn't on the program then, so.
That's true. I think we could have provided some clarity and helped you out with that.
Yeah.
If you found us back then. Because it's quite simply, being poor is bad. I'll be honest with you. Being poor is bad. It's bad to be. It feels bad to be. Also, it's a bad thing to be. Like once you are that thing,
it's not easier. It's certainly not easier.
Imagine, not ever having to think about money, eating all kinds of food that you want all the time, and having access to all these things, these opportunities, these avenues. You get a softer bed, cooler clothes. You don't have to like worry about, how you don't have to second guess
like,
whether you get like another beer or
like,
something.
You almost definitely have like a boss, and like you have to commute, and like you have to like get sick 7 times a year because you like work in like a dusty, dry office, and you have to like go there every day and want to like throttle half of these people for being idiots, and half of them want to throttle you for being an idiot, and like that's a whole other like set of bullshit is all I'm saying.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. No, there is a very particular kind of misery that comes from that sort of thing, but overall, well, this is something that I work with a lot with people, and both one-on-one sessions and my group sessions that I do, is that we, especially when one tough nut to crack in general is a sort of elder religious woman, and men too. But there's something about the what's the word? Fastidiousness? Is that the word? Is that how you say that word?
Probably.
There's something about the fastidiousness or something like that. Something about the like again, in a negative way, the resilience of a really religious poor person. No, it's
hard-headedness.
Hard-headedness.
Like,
they're so repressed. They have such a power inside of them, such an anger, such a resentment.
Such a limited scope for all of that energy.
Exactly, and it stems a lot from they're poor and it's bad. Their lives have sucked. Whether I work with immigrants, people that have been here for generations. I'm working with factory workers. I'm working with people who work in fast food. I'm working with people who just got out of jail. They come out of jail religious. Lord, it takes about at least a year to just get back into their fucking head that their lives suck and they should be upset and resentful and angry, and let's do something with it. So this is the program will work, though, as you understand. But you yourself, you understand the nuance of this, and you obviously understand the nuance of the program. So I want to thank you for sharing that with us, just throughout the call tonight.
It's been so great.
One thing I do want to ask you before we wrap things up here, though, is we got some naysayers. You heard there was a call earlier, somebody making an explicit argument against the joy of walking, saying they hate walking and they think everyone should stop walking, and listed a bunch of reasons. Go ahead. I'd like to hear your sort of argument against that. So you respond to that argument against walking. Why should people be walking?
Well, I think I said earlier, like, if walking is the first step towards telling everyone to fuck off and storming out. You can't, if you haven't even got, like, the attitude that, like, mobility, grants you opportunities, then you're just done for. Like, you got to be able to take, those steps at some point, like, whatever they are, like, do something crazy. Go take a crap in the backyard. Like, I don't even care. Just, like, do anything. Like, be self-destructive. Self-improvement is masturbation, right? So, like, just, cut yourself. Whatever, bro. Like, you choose your own self-destructive fantasy, but, like, just do anything. Do anything. Is all I can say to that.
Wow. Listen, I just want to leave it right there. I want everyone to marinate with what you just shared. Also, you've been terminated by the person who made that first argument, so they just said, fuck you. Namaste. Peppercorn Patty saying, you'll see it on the screen in just a moment, saying, boo. Boo. Blessings and namaste. Welcome, Kitty ... Namaste to Kitty ... Welcome to Explorations, the most effective personal power program in the world. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
I'm on the phone here.
A little low, a little soft.
This is
there we go.
Stieglitz. Hello. I've never called before.
Who is this?
I'm calling. Hello. My name is Stieglitz. How's it going? I've been in your chat for a minute, here and there a little bit, but
Bro Stieglitz, I recognize that username. How are you doing tonight? Your first time calling?
it is my first time calling, yes.
Can we get some excitement going in the chat right now, guys? We got a first time
I'm a little
caller.
nervous, low key, I gotta say.
Oh, I understand, right? You know what?
To be on the phone with D. Leslie Tanner.
I know. It's something, it's so funny. A couple months ago, I tried calling into, I think it was Toad PhD. I don't really like the program very much, but I was like, why not? I was watching it and I tried to give it a call. Funnily enough, I felt nervous.
Wow.
That's something because here I am running the most effective personal power program in the country, and I run this this show several times a week, multiple hours at a time. And I was going to give a call. It was just something, there's something a little nerve-wracking about being on the other side, I think.
It's been a while, I have to say.
Yeah.
So how is there a topic for tonight? Like, I got to say, I tuned in late.
Stieglitz, yeah. Well, real quick, my main beef with that Toad PhD guy. Because Orchestra says, I prefer my therapy without a colostomy bag. And it's a funny story about that. I know he's a big guy. Obviously, he's a very fat guy, also tall. He said something kind of offhandedly that he could beat me up or fight me or something, which I thought was hilarious. I thought it was a very funny. It would have been a very funny joke, but I looked in his face. I couldn't tell whether he was joking or not. Maybe it was deadpan.
Did he want to fight you?
I don't think he wants to fight me, but I think he felt rattled by something he perceived in chat or something, and then so he's sitting there like on a fucking IV into his internal organs, weighing about 800 pounds, and he said something about it's just that's a funny position to be in, to just kind of even thinly veil issue thinly veiled threats. Once again, I think it would be a tremendous bit if he just if he was aware of it. Maybe he was. I have no idea. Namaste to him either way. I'd be happy to work with him. No, Stieglitz, tonight we're discussing the joy of walking. The joy of walking. When I say that to you, what are some feelings that come up? Not everybody experiences the joy of walking as we've explored tonight, but when I say that to you personally, what comes to mind?
Leslie, I'm sorry. My phone co-opted my AirPods, and I missed the question that you just asked me.
Oh, no worries. I'm happy to repeat it. So tonight we're discussing the joy of walking. So I was just curious, when I say those words to you, I'm sure you've maybe seen a couple calls tonight, but when I say those words to you personally, Stieglitz, what comes to mind? The joy of walking.
Oh, I mean, there's so many things. If I'm going to be real with you, I got to say that it allows me to just kind of let my mind wander.
Sure. Where's it wander to? I love that.
I receive the gift of song, and I do what I can to turn that into something that then can come out of speakers, perhaps, if it's something that's actually worth pursuing. Because not everything is, of course, as you know, as an artist yourself.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, if you're looking for worth pursuing, I would say, and you're looking in the art direction, it's like going to a dairy farm looking for, like a storm drain for the side of your house. You're in the wrong spot. This is not going to work. You're wasting your time. In fact, I'm worried that you're even looking in that direction for that particular thing. It's simply not going to happen. And many, especially musicians, I've said some version of this before, but particularly with musicians, it's genuinely admirable how it's not that they're just able to produce more nothing than anyone else, and the extent of the nowhere that they go is like 2 or 3 times that of a normal person, which is truly astounding to me from the outside as a non-musician. Aside from my channeling of for the Jazz Express, but that's more of a spiritual exercise for me. Now you yourself have the gift of song. You said you express yourself through song.
Yes, I do primarily, but I like to make the art as well. I like to see it, and that kind of gives me an inspiration as to where the sound is going to go.
Ooh, inspiration! And what kind? Do you have a little bit of inspiration inside of you right now that you could share? Something in the air, something in your mind.
Well, listen, it was a bountiful harvest, and I'm sitting on a bunch of unrefined, bricks of cocaine, as it were, metaphorically speaking, or each track is like a kilo of cocaine that needs to be refined and packaged and marketed, and I'm just one guy, and I've got. I don't know, the program is really helping me kind of think about how I can organize myself and actually do stuff instead of just getting lost in the nothing, as you brought up. It's really easy to just do a lot of nothing over and over.
Interesting. So it's kind of putting an organizational little impulse in you, you finding where the borders are, having a clearer mind about the tasks at hand.
I'm working on it. Like this is, I'm being vulnerable and exposing that, this is a problem for me. And, that's a little uncomfortable, but to get it out is kind of relieving, I must say.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. We're terrified of our limits, aren't we? We're terrified of our limits. We're terrified of our inadequacies. At every extent, whether it be like a small task, how we, maybe we all always scramble our eggs too hard, and that's a limit, an inadequacy we have. Or, maybe the realization that ultimately we will be inadequate when we finally, die. To die is to lose, right? Is ultimate loss. That when you die, you are a loser in the truest, purest sense. Every single person in every cemetery you have ever seen is the purest distillation of a fucking loser that you've ever seen in your life. Period. And this is terrifying. This is terrifying. So you're right to be vulnerable. You're right to challenge. You're right to find the limits of your adequacy as they blend into inadequacy. So that this is already tremendous progress for you.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have done it without you.
This is tremendous, Stiglitz. Yeah. So tell me. So you gift a song. What's a little something you're working on right now?
Forget about me for a moment. Have you ever thought about taking the Jazz Express to a higher level and maybe coming up with another few of them and doing a photo shoot and a video and a recording with higher fidelity in a studio environment?
Oh, I would love to. I would absolutely love to do that.
Interesting. So I have all of these things. If you want to come to Brooklyn, New York City at some point in the future, I would be happy to make that happen.
The Big Apple. Leslie getting an invite to the Big Apple to make some...
No pressure, but I just wanted to put it out there.
You know,
I like your style. You're really committed to the bit, and like I'm in my big brother type of phase of my career where I'm like people who I run into who are really committed to the bit. I really enjoy giving the fruits of professional media experience.
Look at that,
so to speak.
Well, listen, I will absolutely remember. I'll absolutely remember this. You know, it's you know, a music career and being able to express myself in that way is, you know, I won't lie. A younger version of myself, it was a dream. It was an absolute dream. And, you know, I try to incorporate it in a spiritual sense here at Exploration. So listen, I'll allow me to think about that. Okay, can I chew on that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me.
You know, I have an '80s Akai Iwi, by the way. That's something.
What was that? An '80s what?
I have an '80s Akai Iwi, one of the first runs, the gray one.
Ooh. Yeah, that's exactly. I've got an Akai Iwi. It's just a USB controller. It doesn't have any sounds in it.
I've got the old one with the big cable and stuff, and like that with you in the studio would be like a tremendous photo. But hey, what do I know?
Right. No, you're onto something. I think that it sounds like there's magic percolating in the air between us right now, Stiglitz, and I really appreciate genuinely.
I'm not trying to co-opt or anything.
Appreciate that offer. Oh no. It's for the program ultimately.
I have no desire for credit. Like I'm happy to be a ghost, whatever it is. But I do enjoy giving things.
Communal vision from Pepperoncini, though. Leslie, do you want to come to my meat locker? No pressure, but we can tickle each other. I'd be happy to do that with you, Pepperoncini. Wherever you are in the country,
I would get it on that too.
We tickle each other. Just a couple of fellas, just getting almost completely naked and tickling in a meat locker. And in some way, it's kind of funny because as we tickle each other, we'll be in a meat locker. We'll be unlocking our meat, which is which is beautiful in some ways, horrific in others. So thank you for sharing. But Stiglitz, listen, I really appreciate that offer, and I'm really proud of how far you've come through and within the program. I'm definitely going to think about that. I'm definitely going to remember what you just shared with me about maybe putting some, maybe a really beautiful piece of music, audio, video situation in Brooklyn?
Yeah, dude, no pressure. But like, I'm down to help people, and I like the style, and you know, it's as simple as that. I like
Genuinely,
what I do.
I'm genuinely touched by your offer, and I'll definitely mull this over. I have no idea where I'm going to be from, month to month, day to day. I just kind of follow wherever this program leads me. And
It could be next year, dude. Then that would be fine if it is.
I'll just bug you about it. Not to be all Midwestern. I'll bug you about it. All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Thank
well,
you.
Namaste to you, Stiglitz. Thank you so much
Namaste.
for being so
Namaste.
generous with yourself tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The program works.
The program works. Wow. We have time for one more caller tonight, guys. One more caller. Final caller of the night. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
Hey, Leslie, I'm glad I got in. How's it going? This Borealis back.
Look who it is at the last second of the night. Now I'm gonna say, Borealis Black. Welcome back to the program, bitch. How you doing?
Namaste, motherfuckers. I'm up to my ass in alligators, but I'm doing all right. I'm still swimming.
Up to my ass. Is that a bayou thing to say?
I don't know. It's
Up
it's
to
a
my
bayou
ass
thing
in
that can
alligators.
happen, I guess.
I've never heard that phrase before in my life. Down in the
It's a bayou thing
bayou,
that can
all
happen.
up to my ass in alligator. That means it's gonna be good eating. Or something. Was that close?
Kinda. I'd like to hear Wiki say that, actually.
Ooh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me how. Oh. Go out. That's difficult. That's hard for me. Go out. Up to my ass in alligator. I can't. It's difficult to nail. Have you ever tried?
Have I ever tried to eat alligator?
Oh, I mean, I have eaten. Yeah, have you ever eaten alligator? I've eaten alligator. It's delicious.
I have, actually. It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. So listen. Is Wiki even around? Can anyone confirm or deny whether Wiki is around? Can you even confirm or deny that while I discuss things with Borealis Black? Well, first of all, Borealis, it's great to hear from you. I know you're busy. You got a very busy life right now. Going back to school. And by the way, how's that going? How's that going back to school stuff going for you, Borealis?
Well, right now I'm in kind of the finish line, headed for the finish line on this semester. So it's good. It's busy. It's crazy. I got the flu right after the spring break after Mardi Gras. So
did you?
It put me really behind. Yeah, I know. I didn't go to any parades or anything. I stayed home and I studied music theory and shit. And then I caught the flu and then ended up getting behind because I had missed 2 weeks of class. So that's how it goes. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of toying with dropping the music major for now, just because it's so many little tiny classes that I don't get a lot of credits for. And
Did you say music leisure?
I want to graduate sooner. What's that?
Did you say music leisure?
The music major. Well, I'm double majoring in music and film. And I started off with film and
that's
I was
right.
minoring
That's
in
right.
music, right? And then I was like, music is so much work. I may as well just major in that too. If I like it, and I do. I mean, it's painful, but it's good in its own way. But it's a lot of classes that they only give you 1 or 2 credits for, but it's still the same amount of work that goes into it. So I'm kind of floundering, trying to do that and all my film school work. And so I don't know, with things looking there financially in the near future, it might behoove me to graduate sooner rather than later.
Right.
I think if I just graduate with a film major, I can probably knock it out within the next year. But we'll see. I'm getting my advisement over the weekend, so I've been back and forth. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm still going to keep up with the music stuff, and even if I do decide to kind of streamline it, I just kind of want to see what my options are. Leslie. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
if you know that you prefer film, coming as a former music major myself, if you have like a more specific idea of what you wanted to get out of the music major, then there might be a way to do that either concurrently or like something on the internet that would be like more specific and point you in a specific direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, it's not that I like the film more. It's just that it's way more money with like immediately. Like I'm already turning down work that like I don't have time to do because I'm so busy with my schoolwork. Like, but it's film. They're like, hey, teach. If you've been making $50 an hour teaching like film skills to like, kids at a community center, and like kind of call my own shots, but I don't have time to do it. I'm like, oh my god. So I'd like to be able to do that. And like I said, the music stuff. It's just like just every semester that I am a music major, I'm like required to take an ensemble, and I'm a voice major, so I've got to take voice lessons, and I've got to do
Well, yeah, you're doing oral skills. You have an idea.
My class schedule. I've got like 7 classes, and like I haven't even started adding my film classes yet. And I'm like, oh my god. And then those are like I'm learning software, and like that shit's pretty fucking intense too. So and I end up not doing really great and everything, and like I'm not taking this stuff to get good grades and getting it to learn how to fucking do it. So I'm not really doing myself the best service.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're figuring it out though.
Multi-classing as a character, you know how it is. I don't know if you much RP back in the day, but yeah.
I've been down. I've been down. At least part of this road, and it sounds like you're figuring it out, and it's we've discussed the benefits and the disadvantages of being in an institution of learning that involves intense reading and constant consultation with experts. This is sort of really, antithetical to a lot of what we work towards in the program, but interesting in and of itself. So, but you're figuring it out, and I do want to take you to task a little bit on tonight's theme, Borealis. Did you get a chance to see what the theme was tonight?
Sure. I came in late, but I've got the last couple callers. There was the joy of walking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I would say immediately when I saw that, I thought about how happy I was to walk out of the hospital that time after coming out of ICU, because it was like I had to be able to prove that I could do all this shit on my own. I'm like, yep, I'm out of here.
Right.
Don't put me on any machines or anything.
Was this tell us, Borealis, was this the time that you died in the hospital?
Yes, that was the time I died in the hospital. I was happy to walk out the second time after like they did the operation, right? But I was really amped to walk out the first time.
Amped to be walking. I'll bet you were. I'll bet you're excited to be walking.
Yeah.
You very nearly were not ever again.
Other musings on that, I guess. There's a girl in one of my classes that walks with like some kind of like a cumbersome brace, and that looks like a huge pain in the ass. Like, I don't know, if I was her, I might go for the motorized wheelchair. It's just like, it just looks like a huge pain in the ass, and it's awkward, and it holds things up sometimes, like with the group, we gotta like wait for her to do her thing. So, I don't know. It's, I think I'd go for the motorized chair, right?
Well, listen, we've been having a really heated argument tonight about the joy of walking, and what you just brought up, it was an interesting point. We just spoke to Nobody Radio Underhill, who, I said the joy of walking, and immediately he took a different approach to walking. Instead of just physically walking, it symbolized a whole host of other things to him. And a lot of those things, nuanced, but ultimately positive in his life. And you as well. You thought of one walk, one session of a walk, and how pleased you were to be doing it. Now, Peppercorn Patty has made the argument pretty intensely that walking is bad, and that if you enjoy walking, you are stupid, essentially. So we're having a lot of back and forth about the whether walking is good or bad even to begin with. So if you had to make an argument against peppercorn patty, against this overall negative attitude towards walking, what would you say, Borealis? How would you argue with somebody and say and try to convince everybody to be on your side that walking is in fact good?
Well, I definitely would say I'd like to be able to walk, even if I don't choose to walk. And I think that's an important thing to parse there. To be able to, I think a caller before me had said, you'd be able to just like say, fuck off, screw you guys, I'm out of here. That's the power that you have if you can walk. Whereas, you see where I'm going with that. But if you don't have to walk, should you? It seems like wasted energy sometimes. Why work yourself harder? I don't know. People that do it just like for fun, for recreation, I don't get that at all.
You don't get that.
So,
yeah, I don't
get that.
The argument against walking that I heard from Peppercorn Patty wasn't necessarily against the ability to walk. But she just said the act of walking basically is for idiots, morons.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with her, really. Yeah. I mean, if I got choice stairs, elevator, it's pretty simple. All day.
Wow, Peppercorn Patty, interesting. Now, yeah, she really stuck a wrench in the works over here tonight. Really, and I'm always invited when somebody dissents from a line of thinking that I present to the community here on Explorations. I always celebrate it. I always enjoy it. I always enjoy when somebody's got a little color to add. And there, it has indeed sort of, Peppercorn Patty just said, I win. So do you feel like you lost?
Me?
Yeah, do you feel like you lost, Borealis, just now? Or do you feel like you agree with Peppercorn and you win as well?
No, not at all. I agree with her. I agree with her.
So you won too?
So we win, girl.
So aside from your walk after you literally physically died in a hospital, aside from your walk out of the hospital that night, overall, you could fucking take or leave walking. You're done with it.
Yeah, no, it's not a thing that I do unless I need to.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I'm really
And
enjoying
running, let's forget about running.
Oh, running, I know.
Another conversation,
You see people running their little running outfits on, huh? Right?
Yeah, their little running strollers with their toddlers.
Oh, they got the big, like, a four-wheeler tires on their stroller. Oh, my God. So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
So listen, we do have to make a quick little raid into Talkin' Tanner in a little bit. I don't want to keep those boys up too late. But Borealis, first of all, I want to thank you for calling. It's been a while since we've had the pleasure of speaking to you.
Sure, it sure has. It sure has.
And I want to, thank you for calling. I want you to give my best to Korag.
Okay.
Give my best to Korag, and also, I kind of just want to give you a final word about walking, about the program. Go ahead and address some people that are maybe newer here, that don't really know exactly what's going on. They feel attracted to what's going on and know something special is happening here, but they're not quite as initiated as someone like you, Boreal. So go ahead, give them your sort of your reflection on your time here at the program.
Oh, wow. I would just say that, if you're feeling like, whirlwind and directionless and you don't know what's going on, like, lean into that. Kind of shoulder in and just like, just let it go. Let the chaos happen and not giving you shit, you're going to be so much happier. I can't even tell you. That's my advice for the day, Leslie.
All right. Well, beautiful, Borealis. Thank you so much for for sharing your little tidbits, your little gleanings from your time here in the program. I really appreciate you making time to call us up here tonight.
Namaste.
Namaste, Borealis. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, you have a great night.
Namaste.
Good night.
Wow. We're great. Great to speak to Borealis Black. Wow, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I know she's busy, so it's always a treat when we get to speak to her. You know, she actually made some Explorations Leslie shirts. There was a physical Explorations meetup down south, and she made shirts, very cute shirts. I really enjoyed seeing those pictures. A really beautiful evening that you all had together. Namaste. Well, guys, listen, another beautiful stream. Well, listen, the fun is not over tonight. I'll reiterate, guys, if you want to send me something in the mail, P.O. Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois, 60647. Also, I'm dropping a link one more time in the chat. Guys, if you want to get access to these videos, the physical monthly postcard that I send out, music downloads, the podcast, etc., consider joining my community of devoted light for just $5 a month. You can join my inner circle, the community of devoted light at patreon.com. The link is in the chat. Now, guys, let's Peppercorn Patty still has her shirt. I love that. If there's a meetup in Chicago, I'd go. Maybe there will be someday. I always mull over doing a live show, live performance, a live stream of this whole shebang. Maybe at a local venue in Chicago, Illinois. Maybe someday that'll happen. I have particular needs. Particular circumstances that must be fulfilled before I can commit to that sort of thing. I'm in search of a venue that would be able to accommodate my needs, and hopefully soon we'll find one. I simply cannot just be at a random, Tom, Dick, and Harry bar with a bunch of bullshit all over the screens and nonsense everywhere, and simply it's just not conducive to the program. And I need a particular particular environment. So guys, let's go ahead, guys. Like I said, the fun is not over yet, guys. If you enjoyed tonight, then you get ready for the after show, because tonight we have a lot of fun in store over at Talkin' Tanner, the official post-explorations talk show hosted by moderator Pepperoncini and not moderator and also not explorer of the month, What's Up Catsup, a.k.a. Toaster. As much as I love him, he's neither of those things, won't ever be those things. And I love him. I cherish him. We're going through a rough patch in our relationship, personally speaking, and maybe we'll probably work that out. I will be attending his Monday Tarot, but we are going to be taking our energy and clarity and excitement, Friday night excitement, over to Talkin' Tanner. Guys, who's hosting it tonight? Is it Cheen or Toast? Is it Cheen or Toast? Where are we going? Where are we rating tonight? Oh, it's What's Up Catsup? All right, beautiful. Get a nice little raid going. Guys, we're going to the Wuku Den. The Wuku Den. By the way, I know we're fighting right now, Toaster, but I really do love this Wuku business that you made up. It's really, it's cute, but it's also snappy and kind of scary, right? It's tapping into something like kind of primitive in my mind. These like two syllables. Oh, it must be from a forgotten language of a violent, primitive time where the tribal people did, they did sacrifices, and they just go, "Ooh, cool," ooh, or something like this, I don't know. Namaste to you. Now, guys, Peppercorn Patty is going to be a special guest over on Talkin' Tanner, but let's get this nice little raid going. Wait, did I spell it wrong? Invalid username. I absolutely spelled it wrong. Okay, let's try this again. What's up, Catsup? I think we got it. There we go. Ellie Benelli, of course. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Namaste to every single person who tuned in tonight, especially those who's tuned in at the beginning and stuck it out. It was an absolute treat to be with you guys. Truly, in my heart, it was a treat to be with you. You were the wind beneath my wings. Without you guys being here and your consistent commitment to the program, what would this program even be? It'd be me giving the most profound tools that have ever been conceived to a wall, to no one. And it's the magic of interpersonal interaction, intersubjectivity, coming together, meeting together, the universe meeting the universe finding itself, like I said at the top of the stream. Namaste to every single soul, man, woman, or whatever, some other weird thing that you may or may not be. Namaste to every single one of you. I cherish you, and we'll be back. We're going to go to Talkin' Tanner, join the Discord. Thinking we're going to do a vibrations, but you know how I am, all right? You know how my bowels are. My bowels have been a hell on earth, but we'll see. I'm just saying a maybe right now, but I'll definitely announce earlier in the day on Discord tomorrow. Blessings and namaste, guys. Really wonderful to be with you. Let's take this. Excellent, brother. We're about to raid somebody. We're about to raid Toaster for Talkin' Tanner. So buckle up. We're heading over there in like 10 seconds. Namaste. You probably already raided if by the time you hear this. I'll see you guys soon.